I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
Join the movement. Listen to the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, the locally owned Good Karma brand station. The place for the realest conversations.
I appreciate United Garden Homes for stopping through with a check for $2,000.
Yes.
Some people came through anonymously.
Yes.
Dropped off money. The family has received those funds. And whatever you can do, if everybody do a little, nobody has to do a lot.
The movement continues.
What are some of the conditions in the jail that got people upset, like the living conditions on a day-to-day basis?
We'll come out of our cell at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll get food and we'll get medication. So that shortens the time. Out of those 2 hours, we'll probably get an hour out, and then we'll have to lock right down. And by lock right now, I mean we staying in our cell. We get fed in our cells. We don't come out of our cell at all, and that's pretty much the biggest problem. And they simply say that they're short-staffed, but that's not enough because they knew that they were going to be short-staffed. Like, this has been a problem for over 2 years now.
The marathon continues.
There's never been a better time to make change in the city of Milwaukee, starting with the youth. And we talked about the housing. Willie Hines, y'all boy Willie Hines, and they trying to change the leadership over there. We got our hands full, and it's not the time. But we got attorney B. Ivy Lamar on the lines right now, calling from the courthouse. How you doing, attorney B. Ivy Lamar?
Hey, what's going on, Tory? I'm good, man. Happy to be here.
Joining me on the line, Dr. Umar Johnson. How you doing, brother, Dr. Umar Johnson?
Peace and Pan-Africanism, good brother, Black Power, to all my brothers and sisters in Milwaukee, Kenosha, Green Bay, Racine, and across the state of Wisconsin.
Yo, peace, King. I'm going to stand with you and walk with you, brother.
God bless you.
Because I think it's an important thing, what you're doing, and you need to have the support of the community. Regardless if we live in these areas or not, it all affects us in one way or shape or form.
It's time for that action and all the smoke. This is the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association award-winning Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube.
Man, best show in the world, bro. You got the best show in the world. Hope you know that, man.
God bless you, brother. I appreciate that.
Big up to you both. Thank you so much. Tory, you spoke to my kids. Liz, you did too. But you spoke to my kids, and when I tell you both that they was talking about what we did earlier that morning all day, that's literally what they was doing. They was talking about it all day. My son was just hollering,
Awesome.
where's Tory? Like,
I wanted to make sure that I let you know that to hear a person and have a person like you in this community, the way that you are selfless, the way that you give, even when your cup is not even full, you are filling other people's cup. And that just inspires me to make sure that I help you the best way that I can by doing my part.
As always, my good brother, stay cool, stay calm, stay focused.
Now, live from the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is the king of talk radio, Tory Lowe.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth, from 1 to 4. We about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready. 101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. And I'm here for the action.
And nothing but that action.
And I want all the smoke.
Who wants the smoke today?
Salute to all my brothers and sisters on the front lines. The marathon continues.
The movement continues.
How y'all doing out there in radio land? How y'all doing in the chat? We got another powerful show for you today. So I'm gonna need y'all to open up your ears, okay? Thank you for joining me this Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. Hey, look, we got guests, we got things that we got to discuss. We got breaking news. We got all kinds of stuff going on in the show today. Who we got in the chat? Who we got in the chat? Let's see who we got in the chat. Let me see who we got in the chat. Kawanda in the chat. Anita, I see you, Anita. Josh is in the chat. Mo the Elephant is in the chat. Sincere Running Ray Real in the chat. Salute King. Jeff, I see you, Jeff, in the chat. I'll say this. Off the top, we got some interesting things going on down at the Marina. You know where all the boats be docked at? Down at the Marina. Hey. We got Kyle Wallace from Truth to Power in studio, and some strange things is going on, Truth Nation, down at the Marina. And I just, when Kyle told me this, I couldn't believe this. I couldn't believe it. There's only a few brothers that's down at the Marina that got the boats in the water. We got Kyle Wallace right here. How you doing, Kyle Wallace?
I've been better, T-Lo. You know, this is something that's been stewing with me for a while now, right? It's been something that's been stewing, and I think I'm a little bit triggered from when you just said there's only a couple brothers down there at the Marina.
It ain't that many brothers. Last time I heard, Latrell Sprewell had to get his boat up out of the Marina.
Yeah, they repossessed his boat.
Right,
up out
that's
the water.
That's what I said. Like, it ain't that many brothers with the boat in the water down there docked at the Marina.
It is not. And I know personally as somebody who had his boat down at the water, there weren't a lot of black people down there at the Marina. And I even know that, David Crowley even knew it's not a lot of brothers because he was shocked when he found out I had a boat.
Let me tell you something. We have the Truth boating.
Yeah,
we would go out boating because you had a boat docked.
Yep.
Down at the Marina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then this has been the last couple years.
Yeah, it has been. I think this is we had it for 3 or 4 years down at the Marina. We sure have.
And I'll say this: when I heard this just shocked me that they was allowing this type of behavior to go down at the Marina.
Yeah, me too, T-Lo. Me too. And the type of behavior is crazy is that, I've been there. Y'all know me. I like to be an upstanding citizen, and I do everything I can to do everything the right way, right? I try to treat people with dignity and respect because I think that's something that you deserve before you show me anything different, right? And for me, overall, T-Lo, I was in disbelief with what happened to me at the Marina. I had 2 different incidents where I was faced with racism at the McKinley Marina, and nothing was done about it.
At the McKinley Marina.
At the McKinley Marina in downtown Milwaukee, in Milwaukee County, nothing was done about it. And it was so bad is that they ignored it. And when I say they ignored it, is the director of the Milwaukee County Parks, Guy Smith, refused to have a conversation with me, Tory, after I told them.
That's unacceptable.
It's completely unacceptable, Tory. Can you believe this? Me and my family, as just like we did, we went to the Marina to have a good time, to enjoy ourselves, and they have a gas dock at the Marina. So me and my family, I got my lady. I got my 70-year-old auntie, my almost 70-year-old mama, my 30-some-year-old cousin, her 3-year-old child, my 40-year-old brother.
The family.
Family
just, hanging out at the Marina, about to go for a boat ride.
About to go for a boat ride. Doing things that a lot of people love to do and don't have the opportunity to do. We do it. But, I got to go get gas, T-Lo, and I've gone and got gas before. And so I go this day to go get gas from the Marina, and I go to try to get gas. And typically, you know what customer service look like, right, T-Lo? Typically, when you have good customer service, they try to help you tie up your boat, right? Because when we dock the boat.
We dock the boat.
I asked for y'all help.
We always help dock the boat.
And so typically they help dock the boat. But then there's this one guy there where I came to try to dock my boat. He sees me coming, and white guy. He sees me coming, he goes away. So I go, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I got to dock the boat myself. I got my 70-year-old mom and auntie on the boat.
He wouldn't help you, the white man.
He wouldn't. The white man refused to help me.
Now, this guy works at the Marina.
Yeah, his name's Marcus. He works at the
So
Marina.
his name is Marcus. He's supposed to help the boaters as they come and go.
It's supposed to be full service, Tory.
Full service meaning if y'all need help with the boat, if y'all need gas, stuff like that, he's supposed to assist.
He's supposed to assist. He's supposed to help us tie the boat. He's supposed to pump the gas. So,
Marcus.
So he gets off, he goes away into the little building. He sees me coming. He leaves. So I get up and I just tie my boat up. It is what it is. Maybe he has some work to do. I don't see the evil in people. I see the good. And so, T-Lo, then I tie my own boat, and then he comes back, and I say, I'm looking to get some gas. He said, okay. And, Tory, I've gotten gas before, but this was a little interesting, is that he had the gas pump, and he set it on the ground. And I
Hold on.
Yeah.
He saw you coming.
Uh-huh.
He set the gas pump on the ground.
He said, you getting gas? I said, yep. He grabbed it, and he put it on the ground for me to get. He set it on the ground. And I asked to him, Tory, I said, hey, do we have to pump our own gas now? Because I've been to the gas. I done got gas now. I've been there 3-4 years. So I done got gas before.
Right.
They always pump our gas. They say they full service. And so I said, oh, is this a new policy? Do I have to pump my own gas? And he said, yep, it sure is. I said, oh, okay. Well, I picked it up. I pumped the gas. I don't think nothing.
It sounds like Marcus from the Marina got a problem with black people.
It sounds like he got a problem with black people. For me, I'm thinking, okay, he set it on the ground, which I thought was weird that he set it on the ground like that, because I felt that was a real disrespectful. But I don't want no problems. I don't want no issues. I'm just trying to get on the boat and have a good time. So I pump my own gas, Tory, and then when it's time to pull off, typically they help you dock off, they help you undock, and they push you off. He didn't do that this time. I said, okay. So he didn't
want nothing to do with it. He didn't want to do his job.
He didn't want to have anything to do with this boat full of black people.
Wow.
And so I go off and I start leaving, Tory. And when we start leaving, there's another boat that comes behind us. And why don't you know it's a boat full of white men? And guess what this man does?
He did his job.
He ties up their boat. He pumps their gas. And I said, wait a minute. And so my family is upset, because my family at this point, because, again, I got an auntie and a mom who were born in the 1950s. Right. So they grew up, when they were born, they were called Negroes. So they grew up during a different time. And so they, at that point, felt like they were being treated. They felt triggered because they felt like they had to deal with racism. See, at first, I didn't think it was racism because I see all the goodness in people. But then once I saw that, I said, well, this is pure racism. This man sat here, and he didn't tie up my boat. He didn't pump my gas, but he did it for the white man after me, Tory.
Because that's what he was supposed to do for everybody.
That's what he was supposed to do for everybody. And so my family was so offended that they took a picture, and it just didn't sit right with me, Tory, because to have my mom and my auntie and my brother, especially my mom and my auntie, who, again, were Negroes on their birth certificates and they were born, right, and have grown up basically through a little bit of racism before things got a little bit better, to see them so upset, even to this day, my mom is talking to me about this. Almost 8 months later, I'm hurt. I'm hurt because this man was racist towards not only me, but my family.
But see, this is what I'm saying. Like, the Marina, many times when you go down there, you don't see a lot of black families.
The McKinley Marina don't have no black families down there.
So what I'm saying is this guy targeted a black family.
He sure did.
Didn't apply the service to the black family that he was supposed to do his job, but then immediately after y'all were done, another boat showed up with white residents, and he did his job.
Only racist. That's what it comes down to, is that this individual treated me with racism, and it didn't make sense to me because I ain't do nothing to that man. And so that's what didn't make sense to me. And so, Tory, I was so torn up about it because, again, I'm in disbelief. My family upset. And one thing, when it comes to black women being upset, seeing my mom and seeing my auntie, older black women who are, basically matriarchs of our family, seeing them upset and feeling a certain type of way, that hurt my soul because I felt defenseless. Right, because I felt like I allowed for this man to be racist, not only towards
but you wouldn't have been able to judge that because you out at the Marina, which is a county,
Milwaukee County.
It's Milwaukee County. Mm-hmm. This ain't the South.
Nope.
This ain't nowhere where people would expect that somebody would be acting racist. This is over just do your service work. You couldn't have never predicted that this guy was going to pull this off.
I couldn't, Tory. So what I did was I said, I got my people together. I said, I'm going to need you to make a call. I need you to call the Marina, and I want to check to see, is that true? Because I have the photo, and I'm like, I saw him. Like, I'm glad my family took the picture of him pumping gas of a white man right after we left. And so I said, I need a phone call because I gotta, and I'm not gonna use my voice because I can't use my voice because I don't think they're gonna treat me right. Mm-hmm. So I had to get somebody to make a phone call. to call the Marina and to ask them whether or not, is that true that we're allowed to pump our own gas, so we had somebody make a phone call for it.
Well, you know what? When we come back, I want to hear this phone call, and I think we got some video of the guy that pumps the gas.
So we have a video of him, but we also have a video of another incident that I had where somebody called us I would say a racial undertone at the Marina.
A black fella.
A man who is friends with the guy.
He was a black fella. Wow.
A friend. He said.
Why is he even bringing color into the conversation?
I don't know, Tory, but I can tell you this right now. He's the guy that made that comment is friends with this Marcus dude.
All right, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we got some problems down at the Marina. We got some discrimination going down at the Marina. I think the Marina need to come in front of the congregation. You know it ain't that many black families down there with boats docked at the Marina. Hey, look, when we come back, we got Kyle Wallace in the studio. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
I travel all around the world, Dr. Ken, and when I tell you, based on my experiences, this is like the #1 country that cares. Like everything is about money. Yep. Everything.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
I've told people in the past, you have to be careful of what you complain about and what you use as a tool because other people will take it and use it in the wrong way.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 101.7 The Truth.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Truth Nation, join the Milwaukee County Office of Equity on Saturday, April 25th at 10 a.m. for the Story of Wealth exhibition at the Wisconsin Black Historical Society. Discover how policies have shaped financial opportunities in Milwaukee and learn how we can break down barriers to success. Hear from a panel including keynote speaker James J.B. Bell. This event is free to attend with food provided, door prizes, and great music, so make sure you get there early.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, may I ask a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, we have a dog.
Great. Do you have a pool outside?
Nope, just a big old backyard.
Nice. Another question. Are there any unlocked guns in the home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, let's just talk about what we can bring for dessert.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Same name. Mama in the lobby, folder in her hand, saying, baby, I'm tired, they don't understand. Case on the news, but they mute that pain. So we call one name, trying to change that game. Tory pull up, check to the table, ask who failed you, who lied, who labeled. He know every auntie, cousin, brother, uncle, niece. He don't just talk justice, he don't leave it in a tweet. When it all go wrong, we call on Tory Lowe. When the judge look cold, we call on Tory Lowe. From the block to the boardroom, everybody know if the whole world's silent, we call on Tory Lowe. Say
101.7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. We got Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace in the studio, and it's a bad situation that then took place right down there at the Marina. You know where all the boats be at. You know where all the people had a nice boats when y'all go down to the lake. They got all these boats docked. And you know it ain't a lot of black families down there. Y'all, we already know this. This is something that everybody know. Ain't no guessing
And it's just a lot of stressing right now because Kyle Wallace took his family for a boat ride down at the Marina, and all of a sudden, when he went to get service, when he went to get gas, him and his family was harassed by the serviceman who was white. And this is why I say this. When we see something like this, we got to address it right away. We got to address it right away because this is the type of behavior that we cannot accept, especially in the Milwaukee County. This is governed by the Milwaukee County.
It is. We got a black county executive. We got a whole bunch of black people on the board. We got a lot of black people, and you got a county talking about loving diversity, loving equity, and loving inclusion. But this wasn't very inclusive, and the Marina is not a very inclusive space.
And so before we went to break, you was talking about how he said it was new rules. When y'all pulled up, he said it was new rules now. He ain't got to do nothing for he wasn't going to do nothing for y'all. Y'all got to do it yourself.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Basically, when we pulled up, he didn't help me undock my boat, which it is what it is. But then when it came to pumping gas, I thought it was full service. And he told me, nope, we don't do that. We don't do that anymore. We don't do full service. We don't pump people's gas anymore.
That's what he said.
That's what he told me. He said, I guess there was a new set of rules, and I just believe
that he just made up.
That it turns out he just made it up, T-Lo. It turns out he just made it up. So he decided he saw me, he saw a black family, he decided that he didn't want to pump that gas. Racism persists amongst a lot of people, and unfortunately with Milwaukee County, they have people who are racist who work within the county, and they don't give a dang.
But see, you can't do that at work. I don't care how you feel on your job, you don't own the job. You don't own the Marina. It's the Milwaukee County. It's a part of the Milwaukee County Park structure.
Yeah.
So you can't bring your stupid, idiotic, racist attitude to work. If you want to do that, go get your own business and do whatever you want to do. But you in a public space denying a black family that has a boat down there, one of the few families that is able to have a boat docked down at the Marina, and now you mad because they didn't pulled up for service. Now this is a problem.
It is a problem.
This is a real problem. Now, you said that he said it was new rules, that he ain't supposed to do this and that. But you had somebody make a call.
Yeah, because after
to see what the rules were.
Well, yeah, again, I believe the rules all of 30 seconds, and my family pointed out that immediately after we pulled off in the water, my family took photos of the fact that that man docked somebody else's boat and started pumping somebody else's gas. So I said, well, wait a minute now. He just told me that they don't pump gas anymore, but I see him pumping gas for somebody else. So I decided, you know what, we got to call down to the McKinley Marina, and we got to get to the bottom of this. What are the rules? How does this go? Are they supposed to pump gas, or are they not supposed to pump gas? Is it full service, or is it not full service? So I had somebody call down.
All right, we got the record, too. We got the record. And if y'all listening, if y'all watch this, we broadcast live. Somebody made a call to the Marina to see what the rules were, and we got the audio. If you were listening, if you watch this, we broadcast live. We got video and audio. Let's listen.
Okay, gotcha. So I would never have to pump my own gas then?
No, you wouldn't.
Okay.
There's somebody that works out there until 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, okay. Are we allowed to pump our own gas though if we would like, or do we have to have somebody do that for us?
Yeah, you have to have somebody do it.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much for letting me know that. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yep.
Bye.
Wow.
That's the McKinley Marina right there tell you that you're not allowed to, and it's full service.
So he basically lied.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to understand why he lied, and I'm trying to understand why why this discrimination was okay to happen, T-Lo. That's the one thing I didn't understand, but I'm not shocked or surprised because I guess it's not the first time that I've had to deal with racism right there at the Marina, but it just seems like whenever I bring it to anybody's attention, nobody does anything about it.
I'll say this. This is a sad day when it comes to Marina. I go down there and I watch boats in the water, and I'd be like, man, I can't wait till, Black start getting boats in the water, you know what I mean?
Why would we want to be there though, Tory?
But listen, what I'm saying is, without knowing this situation, you looking down there like, okay, like this may be a nice thing to expose the community to. It's another side of Milwaukee that we don't get exposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And so now from this conversation, knowing that they treating black families like this, I need somebody to be fired. I need heads to roll.
No, my thing is I agree with that, T-Lo. I'm just in absolute disbelief and shocked by that man lying to me that way and allowing racism to win. And that's what I feel is the shame in this whole thing that I had to deal with, is that there was no apology, there was no I'm sorry, there's no we're going to deal with this, there was none of that. It was simple saying, oh, that wasn't racism. That wasn't racism. And I said, if that is not racism, then what in the hell is that? How can you sit here and have somebody literally tell somebody who is a paying member of the Marina, have somebody who is a paying member to get gas, and basically violate your rules and violate the rules towards a black family, and you do nothing about it, and you say it's not racism? Then what is it?
Let me tell you something. You can't fight racism in the dark. And when you're dealing with white folks that's in association with the discrimination, they're going to do everything in their power to keep the status quo. This sounds like this the status quo down there. This sounds like this is how they operate down there. Oh, we can't have no black families down here at the Marina because if there's less black families, I say 5.
Tory, 5 might. I'm telling you,
5 might be a little too much.
I've been down.
I don't know. I say 5 black boats. I would love to know how many black boats are in the water down at the Marina.
Listen, we've been on the Marina and we don't see a lot.
I'm trying to say 5. I'm talking about docked, paying that fee, being there all summer. I'm talking about paying the Marina fees to be down there. I said 5. I don't know if it's even 5.
It may be high because we when we've been down there, we had 2 different black folks boats who were next to ours, but they only stayed for 1 year. And what I'm always curious about is why they stayed for 1 year. I'm very curious to know if they experienced something like that as well, where they had to deal with these microaggressions, they had to deal with these racial undertones, where they didn't feel like I'm investing all this money only to be treated this way. So that is my thing. I'm curious of what happened to them other black families. But at this point, I now finally see that the Marina is just they just perpetuate a culture of racism, and they do nothing about it.
Well, we got a black county executive.
Well, I mean,
you said you talked to David Crowley.
I talked to David Crowley about it, and David Crowley basically he said
he should have went down there himself.
Well, David Crowley told David Crowley
the executive, the black executive, and this was going on, he should have made sure. He knows only a few black people down there.
He told me that.
I'm saying, why didn't he go down there? It would only took an hour to figure this out.
Tory, I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
I ain't saying nothing because I'm going down there. I'm finna go down there. But what I'm saying is, he could have just sent one of his staff members. This could have been figured out in an hour.
I agree. I really think it could have been figured out quickly. But
I'd have found missing girls in less time.
Tory,
I'm just saying.
Tory, it's easy to talk. It's harder to walk. It really is, and that's what I'm figuring out is that a lot of people do a lot of talking. But
so you actually spoke to him, and he heard this story.
I talked to David Crowley. He heard this story, and he passed me off to somebody else to deal with it. And what I feel like is that I feel like in government,
I'm gonna have to call David myself and see what's going on with this.
In government, they want to stall you out. They want to drag it out as long as possible. They want to just kick the can down the road. Because what they want to do is they want to make you wait as long as possible and wait you out.
All I'm gonna say is this: David got to, I ain't trying to. But he is the person over the county parks, over the Marina, and the discrimination is going on. Now, we got some video of one of the dock people, the servicemen, that kind of was involved in this. This is not Marcus. This is somebody else. Who is this?
No, this is a friend of Marcus, who is just another Marina tenant named Tim. Now,
so we got Marcus and Tim.
The Marcus and Tim, the 2 white racists down in the Marina who think they can say and do whatever they want towards black people in the Marina, basically.
Bums. All right, look. Let me tell you this. When we come back, we're gonna cut into the pop culture report a little bit. We may still do the pop culture report if we have time today. We got a full show today. We may have to, y'all may have to get the pop culture report tomorrow, but we got one of the servicemen on video, captured on video. Y'all need to hear this. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. Y'all ain't gonna believe what he said, Truth Nation. Supposed to be servicing black people. This got my blood pressure. I might get some high blood pressure, Truth Nation. When we come back, we gonna play the video. Say no more. Let's see the video.
Video's disgusting.
Truth Nation, stay locked in.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Join me every Friday at 11 a.m. for the Milwaukee Experience with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. We're a city that knows how to celebrate, where the calendar is packed with festivals, the plates are piled high with flavor, and a lakefront sunrise sets the stage. Here in Milwaukee, every street leads to something worth savoring, a place that welcomes you with open arms and where joy is shared in bites, beats, and cheers. The Milwaukee Experience every Friday at 11 a.m. exclusively on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
If oil gets to $90 a barrel, I'll be able to pay off my house. I think war is awful. It's terrible. It doesn't resolve things. It creates long-lasting hatred and even more conflict that the American people are always going to find themselves involved in.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
But if I don't have a mortgage, you know what I mean? You take the good with the bad. Didn't Donald Trump say he was going to end the wars? You can't have America first if you're involved in all these foreign wars. And there's people that believed him when he said that. He doesn't like wars. He said it many times. Said it on the campaign trail.
Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 1017 The Truth.
He's bombed just as much in his first year as any warmongering hawk president we've ever seen since World War II.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
This True Sports Update is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. The Milwaukee Brewers start a 3-game series on the road tonight against the Detroit Tigers. Even though the crew haven't played a divisional opponent, manager Pat Murphy says others in the NL Central have gotten off to a good start.
But that's what it's all about. Being a competitive league, it's high tide lifts all boats. So we'll just keep worrying about ourselves and try to get healthy and trying to survive this time and hopefully get on a roll ourselves.
Kyle Harrison will get the start tonight for Milwaukee. 5:41 pitch in Detroit. Coverage begins on our sister station 620 WTMJ at 5 o'clock. And former Brewers slugger Ryan Braun will become the latest inductee in the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame, with ties to pro baseball during an induction ceremony in July. Braun will join other notable Brewers, including Hank Aaron, Cecil Cooper, and Prince Fielder. The first round of the NFL Draft is coming up Thursday in Pittsburgh. The Packers currently do not have a first-round pick. This True Sports Update was powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tory Lowe, can you lift my spirit? Close my hand, they can't kill my spirit. They can't kill my spirit. Tory Lowe, can you lift my spirit? Cause the devil trying to kill my spirit. Feeling myself, two-step, then I do my dance. Advocate, take the charge, play your hand. All white like a swan.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Hey, look, we're going to have to skip the pop culture report today because we got a situation down at the Marina. And We got Kyle Wallace in studio. He was refused services by the operator, the boat. What do they call him? Attendant?
They call him the boat attendant at the McKinley Marina. He refused to pump my gas and forced me to pump my own gas, despite it being their policy that tenants now are not allowed to pump their own gas, and you're supposed to be full service. But he refused to give me service.
Supposed to be full service. Said new rules. It was new rules now that
only for me.
Yeah, only for you.
Only
you called. You had somebody call to see what the rules were. They said it's full service.
They said it's full. So she even laughed. The person laughed and giggled at the assertion and the thought that we would pump our own gas.
Wow. So they out there renegading out there. The attendance people out there picking and choosing and spreading discrimination and adding stress to families, to black families.
That's exactly what it is.
Wow.
Adding stress, anxiety to black families that don't even need it in this world, simply just trying to get gas. Ain't that something?
Man, look, you live your life to do the right thing, and it's always gonna be an attendant around doing something extra.
Somebody doing something extra. But
wow. It's okay though, because this is why we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
This is trash.
I agree.
And so we got another attendant.
So this is another Marina.
This is a Marina person that works there.
So he doesn't work there. He has his boat in the slip as well. But according to Marcus, the man who works there, said this is his friend. That's what he said. He said this is me. This is my friend.
So this is his friend.
This is his friend. Who
so he does he work there or he's just
another? He's
just hanging out.
He's just hanging out. He another person at the Marina hanging out.
A bum.
I would say so.
Okay,
a
just
piece of trash.
Hanging out.
Say that.
Just hanging out at his buddy worked there.
Hanging out at the Marina.
Hanging out the Marina.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, all of a sudden y'all pull up.
Yep.
And what happened?
And so we pull up, and we have this man who sits here and says some racial undertone things to me. There was something that he just. He was going back and forth with my people, and then all of a sudden he said some things that were highly offensive, and that when things got escalated up, he decided he was going to make some racist comments.
Oh, wow. Well, we got some video of this. They was lucky to kind of record some of this, what was going on. So if you're watching this, we broadcast live. This is Tim. I guess he's associated with the attendant.
Who works for the Milwaukee County, yep.
Who works for the Milwaukee County. If you watch this as we broadcast live, we got some video. Let's listen.
Say something black again. I know you want to say something black again.
I never said anything.
Okay, exactly.
I said black feller.
Black feller. What about black feller?
That's all I said.
Okay. Hey, you do know the phone calls are recorded with the police, right?
Correct.
So they heard you saying it.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know. You said you didn't say it, but
black feller.
Okay.
I never said.
And then you say, you guys in Milwaukee do what?
Let's go.
Exactly. I'll be seeing you, Tim.
You're smart.
Oh, wow. And you think you're
effing smart.
Effing smart. Oh, that's definitely Jim Crow South right there.
That to me,
I felt the Jim Crow on this conversation.
No, that's definitely the thing that they say to black people back in the day. And this is a man that is just another Marina tenant who's friends with this guy. And this was reported to the McKinley Marina, and they did nothing about it. You know what they told me? They said, "Oh, we're gonna tell him if he does that again, he's gonna get in trouble. If he does this again,
no tolerance.
No.
They should have had a no tolerance for this type of behavior.
I agree. And what's crazy to me is that I in my life as a black man, I know what racial undertones are. Nobody once said this man called anybody the N-word. You never once hear anybody accuse somebody of saying the N-word. But he took it within himself to say, "Oh, I didn't call you the N-word. I called you a black feller.
Black fella.
I didn't call you an N-word. I called you a black fella."
You think you a smart black fella, don't you? Y'all think y'all some smart black fellas.
The racial undertones in there.
Wow.
That's straight from Jim Crow South. And when people talking about black fella, they usually would say the N-word. But that's just a replacement word.
That's
just
you smart, don't you?
Again.
Oh, wow.
To try to make you feel inferior, right? Because when they see you being successful, when they see black people like that, this is the way that they treat you. This man literally told us, he literally said, "I didn't call you the N-word." Nobody ever accused him of saying that, but he said, "I called you a black feller. I called you a black feller." What white person walk around calling random black people they know?
What do color got to do with him servicing y'all? With him being an attendant and doing his job to service.
I have no idea why that man.
So why did color even come up?
I have no idea why color even came up.
Black fellas.
Also not caught.
There go them black fellas right there.
Yep, and not on.
Here come that boat of black fellas.
Not caught on camera.
Wow.
Saying this is how you Milwaukee people act. This is how you in Milwaukee County, in the city of Milwaukee. This white man said, "This is how you Milwaukee people act."
You know what?
These are all undertones.
Yeah, I think he gave y'all the finger too.
He did give us a finger.
Andrew, you got the picture. Yeah, pull that picture up.
He definitely
he stuck his middle finger up too as well.
He stuck his middle finger up.
Oh
as well.
wow, Andrew. We go. Hey, look, I got to show y'all the raw. What's going down at the Marina? Because if I hadn't heard it from you, Kyle Wallace, I wouldn't have knew.
And that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't even knew this was going on. And this has been going on for a while.
It's been going on
and
for
they've been
a while.
trying to sweep this under the rug.
They've been sweeping it under the rug. They've been sweeping it under the rug when they knew this all occurred. They knew I didn't get service at the McKinley Marina, and they knew that was wrong, but they told me, we don't know. We don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know anything? This man literally didn't service me gas. What do you say about this? They gave me no answers. I told them that this happened. I showed them the video, and you know what they said? They said they couldn't corroborate that he did this.
Hold on, you know it's something spiteful because put the video up where he got the middle finger. Somebody look at this. Why is he sticking his middle finger up? Look at this. If it's no malice, if it's just a casual conversation, look at that? Look, he got the middle finger up. This right here, he should have been banned from coming out there. He should have never. I'm telling you, he should have never got this far with you not having answers to this type of behavior.
I'm trying to understand.
Look at this, Truth Nation. Somebody look in the chat. Look at this man. Look at this man. Gave the black family the finger.
I'm trying to understand.
This is not even acceptable.
It's not. This is on a different day when me and my two of the black dudes are on the boat with two hard-working African Americans.
Somebody get David Crawley on the line.
I mean, good luck. Good luck. I mean, I'm serious.
Did you show them? Did they get to see this?
We provided the video. We showed them the videos. We showed them all these different things, and they basically said they said this was freedom of speech, Tory Lowe. This is a group
of black people that's out here trying to enjoy themselves.
Freedom of speech.
You paying the fees. You down there paying. Hold on, wait a minute. Listen, you down there paying the fees. It's not cheap to be down there. First of all, you going to get gas, you going to get service, and you get called a black fella. Oh, you one of them smart black fellas, and you get the finger. While you just trying to stop and get service. This is all over them refusing or trying to not serve you properly.
This is all over the fact that people have their feelings about African Americans and have their feelings about black people, and when they feel like they're in a position of power, they're able to utilize that, try to against you. And what, to me, the most disappointing part about this whole scenario and this whole story is that when this was reported to black people, the only individual that actually said this is unacceptable was a Jewish man. Wow. It was the only person that said, hey, you know what? You can't let racism win. There was only one man, Sheldon Wasserman, who was the county board supervisor of that area. When he was made aware of it, he said, you cannot let racism win. You need to talk to David Crowley. You need to push this. David didn't do too much. He passed it along to somebody else. The Guy Smith, who's in charge of the Milwaukee County Parks, he refused to talk to me, Tory. He said if I talk to him, all they're gonna do is just try to blame us for stuff. And I said, no, I'm trying to get to the bottom of why racism is okay.
Look,
but Guy Smith refused to speak with us. Refused.
All this over you just trying to get some gas,
Tory.
It ain't like they out there playing music loud, out there acting unprofessional. This is over y'all just trying to stop while y'all boating to get some service, and all of this happened.
Tory.
That's crazy.
Tory, it is crazy.
Wow.
And I had brought this to the attention that I did not get I had to pump my own gas. I brought to the attention that Kyle Wallace went to go get gas, and he did not serve me. I had to serve myself, and they did not give me any answers. All they told me is that they have freedom of speech, and then they never responded to when I asked why was I not provided with gas. They never once provided anything to me, but when it came to this Tim situation, they said freedom of speech. They said people have the freedom of speech to basically say, you're a black fella, I didn't call you the N-word. A white man saying that to a black man. They have freedom of speech to, flip you off with a finger. Freedom of speech to say, you think you effing smart, when we all understand in America when a white man says that, especially y'all see that white man. That white man looked like one of them white men from the south side of Milwaukee.
Look, put that picture back up with them sticking the finger up.
Not even from Milwaukee.
This right here.
I know he's not from Milwaukee.
I could have. Hey, if he gave me the finger and I'm trying to get gas, I'm out here trying to embarrass me in front of my. Hey, look. As much as I try to keep it calm, keep calm. Hey.
Tory, the problem.
Look at this.
The problem is that you always, as a black man, you always got to think about how you respond and how you react. Because when situations, as you see in this situation, when they escalate, they always going to be looking to blame you first. And that is the biggest disappointment, is that this white man can get away with saying, you know, I didn't call you the N-word, which nobody even said he called you N-word. He can get away with saying you think you effing smart to black men, to 3 intelligent black men. He can get away with flipping you off. He can get away with all of that and have literally no repercussions for his actions. And they understand that there's so much power in their skin color. That's why they continue to do stuff like this. They get a slap on the wrist to sit here and
they work for Milwaukee County.
One of them is a Marina tenant at Milwaukee County who gets to come back this year. And I was told that type of action is unacceptable, and we're going to let him know if he does it again. And I said blatantly, if you are telling me that the action was unacceptable, but they get to come back and they get another chance to disrespect another black family, then you're part of the failures. If they allow for racism to be at the Milwaukee County McKinley Marina, they allow for racism to be in the tenants who have their boats there, and they allow for racism for the employees that work there. It all starts with Guy Smith, who is at top of the Milwaukee County Parks. He is the first one that starts for this type of culture where racism can persist not only with the people that work underneath him, but also for the people who are marina tenants. Guy Smith is part of the problem.
Well, look, when we come back, they said that you couldn't even bring your boat back.
Yep.
I want to talk about this when we get back. So now, after all of this, where you tried to just go get gas, you got kicked out.
Yeah.
All right, look, we gotta break this down when we get back. We got Kyle Wallace in studio. We got Jim Crow Marina going on right here in the city of Milwaukee.
County.
They say that Milwaukee and Wisconsin are one of the most segregated states, one of the most segregated cities. But I think that we may switch the word segregation for Jim Crow.
Might as well. Milwaukee County definitely full of Jim Crow at that McKinley Marina.
Truth Nation, stay locked in.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family and help out in your community. You've been there for so many others. But when life challenges you, when rising costs, unexpected repairs, medical bills, or simply a rough stretch make it hard to keep up on a limited or low income, you're not alone. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are here for you, working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. If you're struggling with high utility bills, facing a disconnect notice, or dealing with a furnace emergency and your limited or low income isn't enough, support is available. Visit www.heat.help or call 1-800-506-5596 to apply for a hand up.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on April 28th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in April 28th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app and 1017thetruth.com.
Down, he reports for the people. If he ride on the beat, it's gonna be a little lethal. He'll let his feet eat a ghetto Grim Reaper. Bird box down, no one saw, no one seen her. Asking about the gunshot sound, what's the meaning? Riding around the town, where it's from, where they keep her. Eastbound, upper echelon in the beamer. Rodeo around, fuck with me now. We gon' be in the sky in a minute, different level. 40K with the real shovels. Black, they tryna take my crown, but I won't back down, and I'm never gon' fold. No, I'm never gon' fold. Oh, word on the street, Tory Lowe for the people.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. We got Kyle Wallace in studio. Kyle Wallace from Truth to Power. Situation going on at the Marina, and this is a terrible situation to happen to blacks as we try to enjoy our lives in this city. You know, a lot of things go on in the city of Milwaukee.
So often, Tory. You know,
you're trying to enjoy your life, and then you can't get service, which ultimately led to you not being able to even dock.
Yeah, so
the Marina.
We had a situation that led to us not being able to dock. I'll go into details on that when I have more time tomorrow on Truth to Power, where I can provide all the details on that. But Tory, what I find to be absolutely insane and crazy is that you see so many of those stories, right? I saw a video of these black women who were out in the park doing yoga, right? And not minding their own business, and somehow people get mad at them, right? We remember the bird watcher, the black man that was just simply bird watching in the park, and the white woman screamed at him. I was simply just trying to get gas with my family and just trying to be treated like other people, treated like a paying member of the Marina, or treated like anybody that's coming to get gas. Because
you weren't even looking for trouble.
Tory, you know how
you was out with the family.
You know how you know I
and this happened.
You know how you know I wasn't looking for, because these are two separate incidents. And so you know how you know I wasn't looking for trouble is I didn't cause a scene when the man made me pump my own gas. I just took him at his word, Tory. I just took him at his word because for some reason I guess I'm still naive to the fact that despite how hard you work in life, despite whatever you attain in life, is at the end of the day, when there are certain people, white people who have power, right? Power to determine whether they're going to serve people, power to determine what they're going to do, some of them are going to use that power against you. And that's exactly, unfortunately, what happened in this situation, is that this white man named Marcus, who works for the McKinley Marina, made a decision that he was not going to pump my gas that day. He was not going to pump this black man's gas that day. That was a decision that he made. And unfortunately, Milwaukee County basically backed him up by discriminating against me. Milwaukee County said, you know what, that's okay. We're going to allow for that because this employee can still have a job here. And Milwaukee County refuses to tell me why he was allowed to not pump my gas that day. Milwaukee County refuses to address the picture that I have. Milwaukee County refuses to address the audio that I have of we have calling in saying, hey, are you guys supposed to pump our gas, or are we allowed to pump our own gas? And being told, well, no, you're not allowed to pump your own gas. Milwaukee County McKinley Marina is yet to address that. And still to this day, my mother is still mad about this situation that happened to her. I'm still upset about this situation that happened to me. My cousin, who had her baby on the boat, her 4-year-old son on the boat, is still confused about why this happened, right? Like this does, to me, it just doesn't make sense.
You know, Kyle, I'll tell you this. When you go out to have an outing with your family, and then you go to get gas, and you get treated like this, that says a lot to me, because it wasn't like this happened in any other space where people was being loud or things was going on and there was a nuisance going on. Y'all been there for years, never had any issues, never had a problem. And now on the fact that y'all wanted to get service, this is all escalated to where you can't even put your boat back down there.
Tory, what's crazy is that what gets me is that after this man refused to pump my gas, He pumped a white man's gas immediately after. He saw my boat in the distance and didn't give a damn about what he did to me, what he told me, what he refused to do. And as soon as that white man came after me, he got down, he pumped his gas, and he did what he was supposed to do. And I haven't gotten a freaking apology from the McKinley Marina yet. The Milwaukee County Parks is yet to apologize for what my family had to go through, and they won't even acknowledge it.
And the one thing about your family, you have an upstanding family.
Master's degree.
They have contributed in a positive way.
Yeah.
They do a lot of community service. I know for a fact. I've seen this.
Yeah.
I've seen this. So what I'm saying is, if a decent family can't enjoy themselves in the city of Milwaukee at the marina, and they could get treated like this, and now you can't even bring the boat and put it out there because of you tried to figure out what was going on with the lack of service. Here we go. Like this right here is a prime example of where you got a black county executive, you got a black mayor, you got a black police chief, a black sheriff, and nobody can come and say, okay, y'all need to straighten this out. Like, it wouldn't have took David Qualley but 30 minutes to resolve the situation.
But you got to...
All they had to do is go down there, see what the situation was. He's the boss. He's the executive over the county, over the parks. So he could have got and put his name on this and said, hey, look, let me tell you something. Decent black families are not being protected right here in the city of Milwaukee.
They're not.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
They're not. And one thing that I learned through this situation is just because there's a black face on the front doesn't mean they have all the power. They still have people they have to answer.
I understand that because I wouldn't exist if they was doing something. So what I'm saying is, this is a phone call. This is over service. I dealt with homicides, murders, kidnappings, everything. I just found a girl yesterday before I came into work. What y'all talking about over pumping gas? This is a non-critical situation that was obviously discriminatory.
Yeah.
This is just somebody said, hey, we're not going to tolerate this type of behavior down there, and rectifying it over. One phone call could have dissolved this situation.
Tory, I'm telling you, what we found out is that this type of behavior is tolerated. That is the thing that I found out, is that not only is this tolerated by workers, to be able to discriminate against people and pick and choose how they want to implement the rules of what the marina are and not be reprimanded for it. Also for other people who are paying marina tenants to be able to go and call people black fellas, to go and say, I didn't call you the N-word. Do you know how offensive it is for a white man to say, I didn't call you the N-word when he wasn't accused of that? All that says to me is that I think of you as the N-word, but I didn't call you that. I called you a black fella, which I have a name. Sir, that's the most respectful thing that you say. You say, sir, what is your name, so I can address you that way. But instead, it called you a black fella. That's how you Milwaukee people act. You think you effing smart.
Look, I'm sorry you had to go through this, Kyle Wallace.
Tory,
and at the end of the day, you should have been serviced by your higher-ups. They should have attacked this situation, knowing there's only a few black families down there. And this is all over gas, receiving service for gas.
Yeah, this is the
only time you had to make contact with these people.
Listen, Tory,
you didn't have to make contact with these people no other way.
My record is so clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's my whole thing, is that I don't understand why I wasn't treated with dignity and decency and respect that day. And what makes it even more painful is that my family had to suffer through it, and nobody ever from the Milwaukee County Marina ever apologized. Nobody from the Milwaukee County Parks Department ever apologized for it. All they did was cover up our ass.
Well, hold on. Well, since Truth Nation involved with this, I want to make sure that I do my due diligence, because it's ways. Well, I may have to head down there to see what's going on.
Tory, I appreciate it. I'm gonna share more of the story tomorrow on Truth to Power from noon to 1 as I continue the story tomorrow, Tory. But I appreciate you giving me the time and space.
Appreciate you for coming in and telling this, because this is unacceptable behavior.
It's not easy either, because it's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing that somebody got away with this, because I wanted to do it the diplomatic way versus the other way, and look how far that got me. But thank you, Tory.
All right, God bless you. Hey, look, Truth Nation, when we come back, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Truth Nation, join the Milwaukee County Office of Equity on Saturday, April 25th at 10 a.m. for the Story of Wealth exhibition at the Wisconsin Black Historical Society. Discover how policies have shaped financial opportunities in Milwaukee. Hear from a powerful panel, including Michelle Bryant, Claiborne Benson, Deborah Blanks, Kirk Harris, with keynote speaker James J.B. Bell. This event is free to attend, with food provided, door prizes, and great music, so make sure to get there early. Thank you, Milwaukee. The Tory Lowe Community Cleanup presented by MMSD was an incredible success, and it's all because of you. Thank you to the families, volunteers, and community leaders who came together to clean up the city of Milwaukee. A very special thank you to our amazing partners, Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousins Subs, and Waste Management for helping make the Tory Lowe Cleanup a success. Together, we are making Milwaukee cleaner, stronger, and better, one block at a time.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
I take care of the kids, and I take care of my dad. I take care of things at work. The groceries, the cleanups, the meltdowns, the doctor's visits, the family events, mealtimes, bedtimes. I take care of all the things everyone else needs. But I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Family caregivers are often overloaded. It can feel overwhelming and exhausting. It's no surprise that millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression every year. But help is available, because there may only be one you, but you don't have to do it alone. Head to mentalhealthcareworks.org. That's mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve, because mental health care works when you make the call. If you're experiencing a mental health crisis or thoughts of suicide, dial 988, a message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Listen to the man who tells you exactly how he sees it. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show. Live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the second hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And we got guests, Truth Nation. We got the Midwest Gaming Classic coming through this week. Look, I'm going to tell you this. When I saw that y'all was on the list to come through today, I was so excited. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a very busy week already, and there's more to come because we haven't even started moving the show yet, but it's going to be one heck of a year, I think.
Look, we got Dan Lucen in the studio. He's the Midwest Gaming Classic operator.
Co-founder.
And look, this event is huge.
Yeah.
Because I was a video game fanatic. Grandma used to have to yell upstairs to tell me to go to bed. I was up all night. I mean, I went from 2600 to Atari to Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, Mario Brothers with the Nintendo, and I think I got all the way up to the PlayStation. I think PlayStation 3 before I just kind of I had a son that was playing video games, and I kind of just was like, you know what? I'm going to let him have it for a second. I'm going to let him take his stab at the video game.
Yeah. Video games and games in general, one of the things that's just awesome about them is that you kind of have a shared experience, even if you're not playing them together.
Right.
So what you
can
just
understand.
described is so similar to me. I started with the Atari, and my dad was like, I was like, oh, Dad, I really want a Nintendo. Look at how cool it was. And he was like, Dan, no, that's the exact same thing as the Atari, and we've already got that. And so we used to go to rummage sales and find games, and every time I got a game, I was like, this will be like the Nintendo game. And I plugged it in, and I would stay up all night playing them and trying to find, like, oh, what's the secret in this one, and sharing it with friends. And that's now what I guess the show does, but on a massive basis.
Now, this Midwest Gaming Classic 2026, give us information on it, because the old gamers, this is classic games, like the old school games, and then some games that we probably never seen before from like other countries.
Yeah. Well,
it's a combination of a lot of games.
This is actually everything. So it started, believe it or not, because there was a system called the Atari Jaguar.
Okay.
And me and some people really loved that, and we chatted online. And we enjoyed chatting with each other online about the Atari Jaguar, and we said, you know what would be better than chatting online? Let's get together and let's play the games together. And so we did that, and we brought in people from around the country, and we even had people that you're flying from Japan. And it was 100 people, but we were all there to like celebrate and share. And the people that came said, oh my God, this was great. Let's add more to it. And then every year since then, anybody that walks to us and says, hey, can I do whatever, we say yes to. And so now it's retro games, modern games, games that hasn't come out, arcade games, pinball machines, air hockey tables, tabletop games, trading card games. This year, new is speed puzzling. There's people doing Rubik's Cubes fast.
Oh, wow.
There's so many different things.
Contests.
Yeah, contests, there's open play, there's learn to play, there's lots of crazy things going on. And again, so for me, games ended up being like an important thing in life. I was kind of we'll say that I wasn't the most popular kid in school. And so I was always nervous about meeting people. And there was an arcade game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. And I would go to the arcade and I'd put my quarter in the Donatello slot because he's the best, I think. And it didn't matter who walked up and put their quarter in. We were instantly a team. So we were talking to each other, and it didn't matter who they were or what they were. I could make friends that way. And after the game was over, we could have a talk. And I might talk with someone that I would have never otherwise met. And that's what we try to do with our show, is to introduce different people that are people ultimately. And you might otherwise never get to meet them in that same way. And so that's kind of the real goal behind it. The games are the way that we can get you to come and enjoy yourself.
Now, they're saying, I'm reading that this is a 25th anniversary celebration, 35,000 plus games, 10,000 playable games, and this is all going down at the Barrett Center.
Yeah, it's all going down at the Barrett Center downtown. Kitty corner from where we're broadcasting in 3rd Street Market Hall right now, actually. And, it's going to open up on Friday night. We do a preview night Friday that there's about 1,500 people there for, and then it's open all day on Saturday and Sunday. Last year we did about 36,000 people at the show, a little bit over that.
Oh, wow.
And, it's a big thing. And like I said, it's really unique because a lot of the times when you have these big shows, what they are is that they're...
And people come in from all over the world.
All over the world, absolutely. And some people that you know, some people that you don't.
Do they dress up?
Some do, absolutely.
Yeah, because lately at the conventions, somebody might come in there looking like Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man.
Yeah, so we actually have a guy, Chris Bartlett, that's coming, who has played C-3PO now, as well as some other droids for Star Wars. And he started by dressing up as C-3PO and his own costume and taking that to conventions. And I guess that Lucasfilm saw him and was like, whoa, that's really cool. do you want to come be C-3PO? And so now he's a whole bunch of different droids for that.
Oh, wow. Now, I'll tell you this. What is your favorite game? Or do you have a favorite game, Dan? Because I remember when I flipped Pac-Man. I flipped Pac-Man as a kid because I was just zoned. You got to be zoned in to flip Pac-Man.
Absolutely.
And back then, they didn't have a memory card.
Yeah.
So you up, I think it was like 26 or 28 levels or something like that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I hit the last level and it just stopped and started blinking.
Yeah. That's amazing. Not many people can do that.
I flipped Pac-Man. So, but I was up all day. Grandma didn't say nothing, so I was. Yeah. I couldn't turn it off. So
no, of course not. You're winning.
They didn't have any memory storage back then.
Right. Well, and like, here's the thing too. Before I answer that question, I just have to say what's so cool about that is that that's still a story that you can tell to me.
Oh wow.
And we just met each other, and yet. We're like, I feel like I've had a communal experience with you. And again, there's so much in our world right now that's made to tear each other apart. Like a lot of powerful interests have said, hey, you know what's really important is let's get everybody to yell at each other because we'll make money. And a conversation about games like this can bring people together that may have completely different backgrounds.
Right.
And yet now we're just people.
Video games is never about race.
Yeah, or anything.
It was just about the storyline, characters. Many times the characters was just a figment of the creator's imagination.
Right. Exactly. And you can be whatever you want to be in it. There's all those different things. As for my favorite game, I kind of rotate between whichever one I pick. And so today I'll say Super Mario Brothers 3.
Okay.
That one is the first game that I ever bought the day that it came out.
Oh, wow.
I got it home. I plugged it in. I loved it. It is one of the only games that I still make time to play every single year, no matter what. And so that one is one that I absolutely love.
My favorite game is Madden football.
Yeah.
I held on to that game the longest. After I kind of retired and my son started playing video games, I think I held on to Madden the longest.
Yeah.
And every now and then I peek in there, but now they got so many different options to, they added so many different things, hit stick, different other ways to play the game that it's not simple anymore. It's now, now they got a lot of tricks to the game now.
Yeah.
And it does, I think it takes away from the natural, come on, let's line up and let's play many times when I start to play those football games now.
Yeah, I don't disagree. What's interesting is that I feel like more actual football players tend to gravitate to the more complex games now. So Amon Green's been coming to our show now for a couple of years. Oh, he's awesome. And he plays a lot of different games with people. And I think that he was the one that was telling me this. He'll call me up and tell me that I'm wrong if I'm wrong. But I think that he was the one that was telling me that a lot of the players actually play Madden to like think about like how like different plays are run and stuff like that, which you can do now. Whereas like the earlier games, it was, like you said, more of a scrimmage type thing, and you weren't really learning from it. It's actually, funny other story, I was talking to Ted DiBiase from the WWF. Yeah, he came to our show a couple years ago.
The $1 Million Man.
Yeah, he came to our show a couple years ago. And
Did he bring the belt?
He brought the Midwest Gaming Classic Championship belt. I'll bring it by. I'm actually going to be here. I wish I did. I should have walked in here wearing it. It's hilarious. We actually got it made from the same guys that make the WWE belts. But he was like, yeah, I'm really excited to come, but I have to be honest with you. And I was like, yeah, Ted, what's up? And he's like, I've never played any of these games. And I was like, that totally makes sense because like your work was wrestling. And so the last thing to me that you would want to do is go home after working and play yourself working. Like that sounds like terrible. And he was like, oh, I never thought about it that way. And so I'm kind of impressed that the newer games, a lot of, like I said, at least from what I've been told, a lot of players and stuff like that are actually in them, in those industries, wrestling, football, baseball. I learned that the Wave soccer team loves playing FIFA. It's fascinating to me that they love those games now with all their complexity.
Well, the thing is, games take you kind of like out of reality for a second. Out of the stressful elements of living life too, as well. Like, when I got frustrated, you plug in the game and you get into another space. You get away from it for a while and then you come back. It's like going for a walk. It's like the same effect. Like, just get away from everything. Let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
And video games kind of help people regulate their emotions as well. You know, it takes them to another world, and then they get to come back more calmer.
Right. And like I
did
said,
with the regular life situations.
You can do that to regulate yourself. You can do that to meet people. They're this incredible tool. And it's fascinating because back when both of us were younger,
right,
games were like, if you were a gamer, people were like, oh, they're playing with kids' toys. And like now everybody's like, oh no, like if you have a phone, likely you're playing some sort of game on your phone.
Well, now gaming is the graphics now. Like they have evolved to the point where realistic graphics, more realistic situations. Back when we came up, you flipped the game, it was like some writing, the lights was flashing, and that was it. Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. It
was over.
One of the things that I love about our show, so we have on both Saturday and Sunday, if you're 9 and under, you get to come in for free with your parent. And one of the things that we've loved about that is that the parents will come in and be like, oh my gosh, look at what I used to play. And they'll like show them, oh, this is a Nintendo or this is a text adventure on a computer or whatever. And then the kid will be like, oh, let me show you what I play now. And they'll go over to Minecraft or they'll go over to whatever game that is of their generation right now. Right. And say, this is what we're going to be showing. And it's really awesome to be able to have that intergenerational communication because, again, it's one of those things where so often it's hard to just find something that you can instantly share. And if you walk up to me and I'm playing a game, we are instantly able to share and have a conversation and a bond over something that we are doing. And that means so much.
I want to run the break. When we come back, I want to talk about virtual gaming now.
Absolutely.
Like people are actually able to go inside the game. You got to have special equipment. But I want to talk about the next generation of gaming.
Yeah.
Where are we going with this?
Sure.
Hey, look, we got Midwest Gaming Classic. It'll be here this week, 25th anniversary celebration at the Barrett Center. Hey, look, when we come back, I want to talk about the virtual reality of gaming. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Milwaukee Black Talk.
You don't want to be there. You don't like the work. You don't like the people. Now, there are some differences. The only difference is modern American slavery and capitalism versus 19th century. We were dramatically more primitive back then. And a slave that is able to buy their freedom is the same as the disaffected, disgruntled worker that is able to buy their way into entrepreneurship because that for them is freedom.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family and help out in your community. You've been there for so many others. But when life challenges you, when rising costs, unexpected repairs, medical bills, or simply a rough stretch make it hard to keep up on a limited or low income, you're not alone. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are here for you, working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. If you're struggling with high utility bills, facing a disconnect notice, or dealing with a furnace emergency and your limited or low income isn't enough, support is available. Visit www.heat.help or call 1-800-506-5596 to apply for a hand up.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flySSHF.org and ask for an application.
prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Truck crash? Call Gruber offices. One call, that's all.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I hear you. Front lines. King Tory Lowe. I see the pain in my city, I can't close my eyes. Too many mothers still crying from the homicide. They say be strong, but they don't feel it deep inside. So I speak for the ones who ain't got a voice to cry. I've been walking through the fire trying to make it right. Praying God keep me covered every single night. If I fall, just remember what I sacrificed.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. We got Dan from the Midwest. Gaming Classic. It'll be at the Barrett Center this weekend.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep. Friday's preview night. So if you want to go to preview night, it's about 10% of the people that we do on the other days, or less actually. The games are open. The vendor hall isn't. And then Saturday and Sunday, it's the whole show. There's tons of just everything to do and tons to see and stuff like that. You still get to see some of that on Friday, but Friday is more about like, oh, I'm going to play the games. Whereas Saturday and Sunday are more about I'm going to meet the people.
Hey, look, I'll say this. You say people coming in from all over the country.
Yeah.
Games from all over the country.
Yeah.
Can you get to all of the games? Can a person come in there? I mean, or you just have to pick a section?
I'm going to be honest.
I'm just saying, like,
no, you can't.
You
There's
cannot.
No way.
It's overload. Like, you cannot get to every game or every experience.
Yeah.
Because it's so many games.
Right. Here's the theory that we had.
How do you manage it?
Well, so our theory is that people are going to come mostly for the game that they're most attached to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you an example here in just a second. But so we have all those different types, like I said. But then they're going to also branch out and see how other people are passionate about stuff. And maybe they'll find something else that they love. So I have a couple of friends that they own some pinball machines. And they love bringing pinball machines to places. And they bring them to a couple different shows. They bring them to our show. And they go and they play board games the entire time. And they say that that's the only show that they do that on because no other pinball show has board games at it. And so they're like, we also like board games, but we don't feel like we have another place. Like, it's not worth us going just to a board game show. So it gives people all of these different options. I tell people that our show kind of gives you like gaming ADHD because there's so much cool stuff that you have to like really decide. And generally people only stay in one spot for like 10 or 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. But you just kind of prioritize what it is. And then the other thing that I tell people is just walk by and see what catches your eye. You might be really surprised to walk by and see, you know, I know people that have never played pinball that came to our show and were like, what is this? Played it and fell in love with it. I know people that have, you know, way younger than us that found an Atari 2600, played it and said, I wonder if I can program that, and have now released games for it. And so there's like so many fascinating things like that. And there's so many like littler and littler segments that you can get to get to your interests as you fall down the rabbit hole.
Now, do I bring a bunch of quarters or?
No, good question.
Is it
once you get
Apple
there,
Pay or what?
Almost everything is free.
Okay, all the games are free once you pay admission.
Yeah, the only thing that's not, there's a couple things that aren't, which is like there's an escape room, and that's because it's so low capacity that otherwise the line for it would, and it's like an hour-long experience, so like that's not, and there's redemption games. So like if you go to play a plush crane, you're winning something, so that's not free. Otherwise, pinball arcade video games, home consoles, all the tabletop games, stuff like that. There is, like, if you're going to play Magic, or other card games, Pokemon and stuff like that, there may be a thing where you're like, oh, I'm going to buy $20 worth of cards to play in this tournament, but then you keep the cards. So, like, that's not the same type of thing. And, like, there is a Magic tournament. If you know Magic the Gathering at all, there's a Magic tournament that is giving away a $4,000 card to the winner.
Oh, wow.
And you buy your tickets and you can enter the tournament. You got to sign up online for it, but you can enter the tournament and be in the running to win that card with no additional cost.
Now, virtual.
Yeah.
The virtual gaming is here.
Yeah.
And I thought that the metaverse was going to have everybody in there walking around during the day or something like that. But I don't think it worked out like that.
Yeah, so I'll tell you that I think that there's two different things with it. The first is that I think that gaming is inherently social. And VR, because you're putting on a thing, you're kind of leaving the room. And so it makes it harder. There are ways that make it work, but it's generally figuring out how you can do a VR thing that is social. And like putting on a VR helmet so that you can like digitally walk around the world to try to talk to people is harder than calling them up on the phone. And so I think that that's why a lot of that hasn't worked out the same way. I do think that there's definitely some experiences there that we're going to see start to grow in the future. But I think that we need to figure out what it is. For so long, we've had so many people say, this is just going to be it. This is what the future is. And I think that it's a part of the future. And I think that it's really cool. We've got some people that are doing it. There's the place here in 3rd Street Market Hall that's doing it too. Right. And they're awesome. I know them. They were at the show last year. But like, it's also things like we have Stern Pinball and Raw Thrills, which is an arcade manufacturer. And they make games for arcades that are really social experiences. And so you need to physically go somewhere to play those. You can't play them at home. And they're not VR. Although sometimes Raw Thrills has used VR in their games, but they've made them into social experiences. A couple of years ago, we had a Godzilla machine where you put on a VR helmet and then you had a like gun that you like shot at Godzilla with, and you'd look around
before
and
he
see
got
him.
you.
Yeah, and you sat though next to someone else, and it was on a moving platform and stuff like that. And that was the latest game. And so like there are definitely applications for this, but really I think that everything just evolves. It doesn't necessarily. Like, it's not like tomorrow we're going to have VR gaming and everybody's going to forget that the NES was a thing. People are still going to remember that. People are still going to appreciate those games for what they were. We're just going to get some other cool stuff.
Well, AI is here too, so I want to get your take on AI. How would that affect gaming in some kind of way?
Just for the record, I love this conversation because these are not questions that I usually get.
Yeah, I'm just saying because I know you're a gamer.
Yeah. So my take on AI is this. I think that AI will do things that are very helpful for the world in general.
Okay.
Having said that, I think that the way that we think that it is working right now is kind of like I just said that we were talking about VR a couple of years ago, where it's going to do everything. And like there are things that AI can do and it does well. But we're like, oh, it's going to do everything. It's going to take over everybody's job. It's going to do all this stuff. Most of that stuff, it's not going to do better than humans. Funny
Human
story.
contact is the best.
Yeah. Well, and like a big issue is that we have to be able to trust it. And so the first show, like I said, was about the Atari Jaguar.
Right.
I was looking up on myself a review that I wrote on the internet in the late 90s. It was right after I got the internet. I reviewed the Atari Jaguar when I got it. And I was trying to find it because I was like, that would be funny to share. And so I looked up my name, Atari Jaguar, and AI told me that I had no record with the Atari Jaguar, which I clearly do. And it told me that I was a huge collector, though, of Jaguar sports cars, owning over 50 of them. And I've never had a Jaguar sports car in my life. And I was just like,
oh, wow.
Well, you just made this up. And so, like, there's this huge trust factor there because you can feed it stuff that's not quite right. And so, like, I think that it can help with creativity. Once in a great while, I'll use it for things of like, I can't figure out a good name for something. So I'll like feed it prompts and it will give me names. And like, I'd say 1 out of 5 times, 1 out of 3 times, the name that it came up with, I'm like, oh, I like that. A lot of the times it will come up with stuff that will jog me to do something else. And so there are benefits.
Give you kind of direction.
But yeah, I feel like it needs that human more. And like, then is it exactly AI? It's not the way that we're talking about it.
Well, video games have changed over the years. But look, this is the Midwest Gaming Classic. All your classic games, all of the games you grew up with, and games that you probably never seen from China.
Yeah. There's a system that
Is there games like a Game Boy that from China that we've never seen before? Like
the one that
interesting games like that.
Yeah, the one that I like pointing to every year is that we usually feature a system called the Super A-Can. Nobody has heard of the Super A-Can because they only sold it. It was actually sold in South Korea. I believe that they sold only a few thousand of them. If you look them up on like eBay, the games are worth thousands of dollars now because the few people that have heard of it are like, what is this? I actually bought a number of the consoles because they were being liquidated in the United States in the early 2000s, and I found them, and they were literally being sold as scrap.
What?
They were saying you can take these and you can just take out the chips and you can like melt them down, and there's probably some value there for that. And so I bought some of them, and then I bought a couple games before anybody had really realized it was a thing. And that is a system that we now kind of regularly feature because it's so weird. But there's tons of examples like that. The gaming industry is actually filled with ideas that people had that don't work out. And so hearing about some of those ideas is always fascinating to me too. It's not just successes that we celebrate at our show. It's also the things that didn't quite work out and figuring out why.
Well, look, give everybody just an overall view of what's going on this weekend and how can they participate.
Yeah, absolutely. So the best thing that you can do, I guess if you're looking right now, go to MidwestGamingClassic.com because that's our website that has all of the information on it. What I suggest that you do is that you look through both the pages that are content areas, which will tell you about a lot of the different groups that are coming. It's not all the groups, but it's a lot of the different groups. And then also our show map. And our show map will take you to different parts, and you can click into them, and you can kind of see what it says each area is going to have in it. And then after that, you can buy tickets there. Tickets are available online until Friday, but they are cheaper if you get them before Thursday. We're going to be doing a pre-show party at 3rd Street Market Hall from 6 until 8 p.m. on Thursday, so you can actually buy tickets there in person also. And we've got some pinball machines there that we're going to have on free play. And
we got games all around the 3rd Street Market Hall.
Yeah. Most of them are mine, actually.
And a lot of them are fun games to play.
Yeah, and so you'll be able to stop by and do that. And then Friday, like I said, we have preview night. So if you want the experience of getting to play some of these games without lines, especially like there's new pinball machines that are going to be there. There's certain games that like people get really excited to play, and so they'll develop a line on Saturday and Sunday. I'm not saying that there won't be a line, but there'll be less of a line on Friday. Mm-hmm. And then on Saturday, if you've pre-ordered your tickets, you get to go into the vendor hall starting at 9:30. Show runs from 10 until 8 p.m. in all of the halls. There's lots of fun things going on. Beyond just the gaming stuff, there's fun stuff to see. There's lots of different stages where people are doing presentations. We've got a lot of different voice actors. I mentioned Amon Green's coming. He's going to be there on Sunday, and he's doing some stuff where he's playing against people in a pros versus
Family
Joes
Day
thing. Yeah, that's Family Day. We've also got wrestling on Saturday from ACW Wrestling will be there.
What?
We have Pro BMX that's doing stunts in the back on BMX tricks. That's in the back of our vendor hall on both Saturday and Sunday. So just kind of everything. We have the weirdest after party ever. I feel like you should come to this because I bet you'd like it. So like I'll give you one example.
I'm definitely going to have to show
Have you
it.
ever played NBA Jam?
Yes.
The voice of NBA Jam comes to our after party. The guy that, boom shakalaka, that guy. So we have a Papa Shot, and you can play Papa Shot, and he'll call you playing Papa Shot, but instead of him being like, he's on fire, he'll be like, oh my God, he missed again. And so it's just like a really funny experience. Oh, wow. Actually, at that, Amon Green's going to be playing a game called JS Joust, where you have a controller that you have to like hold steady, so you get to do like a physical challenge with an actual football player. We actually have a guy that dresses as Superman. You get to do a challenge with him. We have programmers that made some of the games that you get to play with, different people in the community. There's music. It's a whole big thing. And then, Sunday, Family Day, 10 to 5. Kids 9 and under get in free, by the way, on both Saturday and Sunday for the main show. We have lots of different things going on. There's a stage that's kids stage that day where we've got different people reading different books. We've got different activities, again, going on. Show closes at 5, and then we're packing up, and we'll be back in a year. But
it's going to be a whole weekend full of gaming.
Yeah.
And it's a family-orientated event.
Absolutely.
And look, you can come out, have a great time, some nostalgia.
Yeah.
Powerful. Hey, look, Dan, I appreciate you for. Hey, look, let me tell you something. I'm going to have to come and see what's really going on because I'll tell you this. I would probably stay in the one section where they had the Atari section there.
Atari is actually coming to our show now. So we've actually got the company coming to the show. They've made new hardware. And we also have programmers who made games in the day that are coming. One of those programmers at night, you can play the game Crackpots with him. He programmed the game Crackpots for Activision.
Really?
Yeah. And so to make it fair, though, we make you play with your feet with a foot controller.
That sounds crazy. That sounds like a crazy good time.
Yeah,
hey, look,
it is.
Look, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you for coming through. Look, it's going to be a fun weekend, the Midwest Gaming Classic 2026. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on April 28th.
Uh-oh. Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in April 28th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
So altogether, you're looking at $1,780 for your mortgage and for your property taxes in a year, and that's before you have to deal with, obviously, your water bill and electric bill. That's a steep price that people have to pay, and based off those numbers I just ran, to afford a home like that, you got to make $65,000 a year, but the problem is, here in Milwaukee, the median household income is only $54,234. That's out of whack. So again, I am all about affordability. I'm all about people getting homes. But what we have to understand is that until homes are more affordable, you can have a supply and demand problem, but the problem that we have here in the city of Milwaukee is that these prices, when people are listing these houses, they're listing them for prices that people really can't afford. And even if you do get the house and you're paying that, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is not about living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is about finding something that fits within your budget and building equity for the future.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
This True Sports Update is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. The Milwaukee Brewers start a 3-game series on the road tonight against the Detroit Tigers. Even though the Crew haven't played a divisional opponent, manager Pat Murphy says others in the NL Central have gotten off to a good start.
But that's what it's all about. In a competitive league, high tide lifts all boats. So we'll just keep worrying about ourselves and trying to get healthy and trying to survive this time and hopefully get on a roll ourselves.
Kyle Harrison will get the start tonight for Milwaukee. 5:40 first pitch in Detroit. Coverage begins on our sister station 620 WTMJ at 5 o'clock. And former Brewers slugger Ryan Braun will become the latest inductee in the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame with ties to pro baseball during an induction ceremony in July. Braun will join other notable Brewers, including Hank Aaron, Cecil Cooper, and Prince Fielder. The first round of the NFL Draft is coming up Thursday in Pittsburgh. The Packers currently do not have a first-round pick. This True Sports Update was powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I don't know if y'all know who this man is. Y'all probably been under a rock, or you just been watching CNN, Fox News, or MSNBC. But there's a whole lot of people who know who this man is. You know what? Matter of fact, I think I better let him introduce himself. Yeah, I'm Tory Lowe. I've been out here in the streets for the people for over 20 years.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Hey, look, we had a lot going on this show. We got Steve Scafidi coming in at 3 o'clock too. This show got a lot of moving parts, but I want to get to this story out of West Memphis. A teacher arrested and charged with assault after a conflict with a student. Now, this is crazy because sometimes when we talk about teachers snapping on students, sometimes these students is getting on these teachers' nerves. And the teachers, they try to be calm. Sometimes they try to stay professional. But when they break the professionalism and actually get into a conflict with the kids, and they start going viral on social media, this was once again another situation where teacher seemed like he just lost his noodle. If you watch it as we broadcast live, we got video on this. Let's listen.
West Memphis police say this arrest came after reviewing surveillance video, and now after reviewing that video, the teacher is facing a felony charge. Tracy Matthews was taken into custody yesterday, charged with aggravated assault. He's now out on bond. This incident happened here at Wonder Junior High School, just off East Broadway Street. West Memphis police say school resource officers were notified of an incident between a teacher and a student. Action News 5 did submit a public information request for that surveillance video of this incident. Parents and residents told me they were shocked to hear what happened.
It's kind of strange that a teacher would be that kind of charge on him. Shouldn't cross that line. Should never be able to put his hands on a child. Never.
Whatever happened, hopefully the teacher didn't cause too much physical injury to the student.
In a statement, the West Memphis School District says they are aware of this incident and the safety and well-being of their students and staff is the district's top priority.
All right, well, I'll say this. I talk about all of the paraprofessionals that then beat up the kids right here in the city of Milwaukee, And sometimes you got to understand that you can't get these jobs that dealing with kids if you can't handle it. Like, maybe you need to take a time out when you feel the blood pressure. Sometimes that blood pressure get to going. You might hit stroke levels. You got to learn how to take a time out. They should have a thing where the teacher should be able to hit a timeout button if they're getting highly stressed out, if that's the case. Because you see more and more teachers losing it and just kind of crashing out, throwing away everything, throwing away their degrees, their job, because they popped the fuse with these kids. I'm gonna need an educator to call in 833-212-1017. Why would a teacher, get to the point where they have to strike out at these kids? I mean, we already know there's some problems. You already know that sometimes these kids coming in with the bad behavior from home. But what runs through a teacher's mind, a professional's mind, when they have to get physical with a baby? Is it the heat of the moment? Because if I was a teacher, I wouldn't fall for the okie doke. I mean, I would just hit a timeout, and I would just take a timeout and walk off, get my thoughts together, because once these kids see you break character, you can never get the respect back. You ain't never getting that respect back. I remember when I was a student in high school at North Division, and the regular teacher, she had a little power, because that was our regular teacher. But when the sub would come in, people would try the sub teacher, the substitute teacher, and they would see if they could break. Now, the substitute teachers that, didn't break, they got a little respect. But The ones that start yelling and going crazy, and they was egging it on, and it was just, they never got the respect. And it's sad that it's like that. It's sad that it's like that, but it's like that. You know what I mean? And it's been like that since I was a kid. But for teachers to snap, to just start swinging off on the kids, I don't know. Maybe you need to find another profession, because I can only imagine how many obstacles you got to go through on a day-to-day basis with a class full of kids, especially if you got 30 kids in the class or more, or if it's a full class of kids and then somebody is acting crazy. It's a lot of stress on these teachers. LaRon in the chat says, if a teacher ever had to take a timeout because of a kid, would never get that classroom back. These kids will disrespect you, your authority, your manhood, and everything else, and hit you. Like I said, they can smell blood now. That's why you got to do it in a way where you don't have to say it's a timeout. You can be like, it's ways to do it. Because I be around a bunch of things all the time when I'm in high stress situations, and I just say I got to use the bathroom, because sometimes it gets so chaotic. I'll be like, okay, well, I got to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Like, sometimes when I'm in that bathroom, I'm like, oh, my goodness. But you can't never let them see you sweat, Truth Nation. You can't never let them see you sweat. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation, Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, join the Milwaukee County Office of Equity on Saturday, April 25th at 10 a.m. for the Story of Wealth exhibition at the Wisconsin Black Historical Society. Discover how policies have shaped financial opportunities in Milwaukee. Hear from a powerful panel, including Michelle Bryant, Claiborne Benson, Deborah Blanks, Kirk Harris, with keynote speaker James J.B. Bell. This event is free to attend, with food provided, door prizes, and great music, so make sure to get there early.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family and help out in your community. You've been there for so many others. But when life challenges you, when rising costs, unexpected repairs, medical bills, or simply a rough stretch make it hard to keep up on a limited or low income, you're not alone. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are here for you, working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. If you're struggling with high utility bills, facing a disconnect notice, or dealing with a furnace emergency and your limited or low income isn't enough, support is available. Visit www.heat.help or call 1-800-506-5596 to apply for a hand up.
Don't miss one of Milwaukee's favorite summer traditions, the U-Path Ride for Arts, presented by Miller Lite, returns Sunday, May 31st. Ride a fully closed 20-mile course across the Hone Bridge with incredible lakefront views. Kids 12 and under ride free thanks to the Brewers Community Foundation. All in support of Southeastern Wisconsin performing arts. 7 a.m. start, finish at UPath Fest on Summerfest grounds. Register today at upathride.org. That's UPAFRIDE.org.
This April, it's Financial Literacy Month on 1017 The Truth, powered by UW Credit Union. Financial literacy isn't just about money. It's about confidence and making smart decisions for your future. UW Credit Union is here to help with free tools, expert guidance, and resources. From budgeting tips to one-on-one financial coaching and self-guided lessons you can access anytime. Because they're not a bank, they're a partner in your financial journey. Learn more at uwcu.org.
My name is Adrienne, and I was hurt in a car accident. What Gruber Law Office has done for me was made me feel safe. It didn't cost me anything, just one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
1-4. Say your name. Tory Lowe. Yeah. On the block by the courthouse. Phone ring, he already know. Mama crying in the hallway. Who gon' speak? She say, Tory Lowe. North side, south side. Same pain, same tears on a different door. He the one they call when they can't breathe, when they can't take it anymore. Advocate, Tory Lowe. He gon' ride when it's time, let the city know. From the hood to the front row. If you hurt, say the word, he gon' stand 10 toes. Advocate, Tory Lowe. Every step, every march, you be in that snow. When it rain, when it cold, if you stuck in the dark, he gon' pull you home.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. I got an update. The missing 13-year-old that we were looking for right before I came into work, we had kind of narrowed it down to where she was at before I came in to work. I can't kick in no doors. I ain't the police. But we kind of narrowed it down to exactly where she was off of Sherman and Hampton, right here in the city of Milwaukee. So we made a video live on Facebook, and it spread it over 1,000-something shares. And it was one of those things where these young people are kind of gathering at certain hot spots where they all gathering together, skipping school, drinking, smoking, doing things like that. And this is the year to break up a lot of that. I think the village need to really put our foot down when it comes to these hot spots. And usually it's an adult that's paying the rent. It's usually an adult that's allowing their home to become a hot spot for these kids. These runaways, these kids that have issues. And then next thing you know, they find a little spot where all of them start to gather and skip school and things like that. And it's usually an adult paying rent there. So we had ran up on one of those hot spots. If you follow me on Facebook, then you know what I'm talking about. But if not, there was a missing young girl that me and the mother, before I had to come into the show, was out trying to locate. Her name was Lowe. And we finally got to a location where I had to turn up on the location, and not too much longer after we were there, she was back with her mom because I guess they put her out, or I guess they told her she had to go because she was 13 years old running around. And many times when you talk about runaways and people, when they go running away and doing things like that, a lot of people give up on these kids. But I can't tell you the number of young kids that I went after that were labeled a runaway that are now in nursing school. They talk to me all the time. They say thank you all the time because they were able to have somebody that, they was making decisions and they were making bad decisions. But what I do is I go look for them because runaway is like one step from human trafficking. Like a lot of y'all don't understand when these little girls get out there and start running away and they get into those streets, 13 years old, 14 years old, a lot of these dudes, a lot of these women out here, even women, they'll put them straight into the human trafficking. Tell them they got to, do all this extra stuff if they want a roof over their head, or if they want to make some money. So I try to get to them right away to show them, hey, look, you got somebody that care about you. Let's see if we can get you some resources. Let's see what the problem is so we can get you some help. I've been doing that for years, over 15 years. This is what I do. Like, a lot of y'all that gave up on a lot of these kids, but I'll tell you, these kids know who care about them and who don't. And sometimes a lot of y'all approaches don't work because you yelling at the kids, but the kids don't see that you're willing to do the work it takes to bring them out. And I try to do the work it takes to try to bring them out by showing them, I'm going to be on them, on top of them. I'm going to try to make sure that I give them resources to try to overcome what these obstacles are. I was once one of these kids. A lot of people don't believe when I tell them I dropped out of school in the 7th grade. They don't even believe it. But it took somebody to come along and say, hey, look, I see potential in you. and I'm not going to let you fall through the cracks. Shortly after that, I became a deacon in church and started, getting around elders, getting around people, responsible adults that started showing me a different lifestyle than what I was exposed to on the block. But a lot of people they think that I had it all, I had it made in the shade. I was on my way out. When I say I was on my way out, I wasn't even going to school. In 7th grade, I dropped out of school. So I'm a product of my village. So that's why I go so hard for the people in the community. This is why sometimes I get so disappointed in the church community sometimes, because it took that community to bring me here. If I didn't get involved in the church community, I wouldn't be here. I would not be here. I would not be on this microphone right now, because it took a lot of those people to tell me and show me things, how to grow up, how to take responsibility, things like that, how to, navigate as a young person for me to overcome a lot of those obstacles when you grow up in a broken household. So that's why I have a lot of passion for what I do, because if it took somebody that had some passion for me to come and deal with my situation. So when I talk to these young people, I know exactly what to say, because I was them. I wasn't always on the right track when I was a kid. Grandma did her best, but once I started going outside, hey, the streets was calling me. It was. I mean, it is what it is. But that's why you need mentors. That's why you need coaches. Thank God for my coaches that coached me up along the way when I started playing football, and the church members that came along that told me how to, navigate through my youth. We need that. We need that village. We need adults that can stand in the gaps many times. So once again, the 13-year-old was found. She's with her mother right now, and even I think somebody hit me up with a resource that they wanted to help out with the young girl, if the mother can contact the resource. So I'm going to make sure that we get them connected. But this is what the village, it's time to repair the village. 2026 is the year to work on repairing the village. And some people don't believe they can do it. Some people they didn't throw their hands up. Well, salute to those brothers and sisters on the front lines that know that we can make a difference, and it ain't no Superman coming, so we got to hurry up and get over there, because we the superheroes. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation, Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
So I was shocked that they let an advocate get on the air, because I was like, man, do y'all really want to know what's really going on out here in these streets? I wish I could have a whole show that y'all could listen to every phone call that come to mind. I could do a whole show on my voice message. Just people calling, talking about what's happening. Just off the voice message, y'all wouldn't even believe what I got in my voice message. If I'm gonna start a podcast after show, I'm gonna let y'all hear the raw material, because we can't even play it on the air. That's how real it is out here. That's why I ain't got time for all y'all all that extra stuff that y'all be trying to do. I'm just happy that we're able to have these great, powerful conversations, but I'm going to always remind y'all that we got to still get out here and get to work.
The Tory Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m., live on YouTube and right here on 101.7 The Truth.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
As parents, we have a million things running through our minds. Playdates, checkups, groceries, laundry, diapers, work, carpool schedules, picture day, swim team, did we mention diapers, birthday parties, meal prep, lost permission slips, dentist appointments, and the dog that still needs to be walked. So it's easy to make a mistake. Oh, I forgot birthday candles. Sit tight, hon, I'll be right back. We say we'd never put our kids in danger by leaving them in the car alone. Oh, wait, since when are candles not on the baking aisle? But never happens. And temperatures as low as 60 degrees can be deadly for children left behind. So always bring them with you, and every time you park the car, stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
All of your favorite 1017 The Truth content whenever you want. The Truth app has it all. The Truth is on 1017 and 1510 WGKB Waukesha, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory, Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory, Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the third hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And we got a guest from our sister station, 620 WTMJ, Steve Scafidi, who's on from 10 to noon. Point taken with Christian Bragg, the Queen.
Let me get my mic. You think I know better? Get my mic on before I start talking.
Yeah, but you know, this is
the mayor and the queen.
The mayor and the queen from 10 a.m. to noon.
I've said this to you before. I would love to have you do the lead into our show.
Oh, wow.
You're so natural with it. You're just good.
Well, let me tell you something.
Makes me excited to talk about whatever we're going to talk about.
Well, we got something that you've been involved in for 8 years now. And you're doing a salute to service right now. Explain what's going on with the salute to service.
So
powerful.
It's good stuff. And I'm proud of the fact that we've done it for 8 years. And matter of fact, one of last year's honorees is part of the WBAs this year, Wisconsin Broadcasting Association Community Service Awards, because that was an incredible story of a firefighter who saved another firefighter who saved a person in a fire in Milwaukee. So a great story. Yeah, it was incredible. Had to tell that story. So for the last 8 years, we honor first responders. What does that mean? Police, fire, dispatchers, EMTs, healthcare providers, emergency room nurses, and we tell the stories, and we get nominations. And I'll tell your folks that are listening real quick. If you go to WTMT.com, there's a banner that says Salute to Service. You can find it there. You click on the link, and it takes you right to the nomination form. Somebody that changed your life, saved a member of your family, somebody that moved you in the right direction when it comes to your life. I want to hear those stories. All I need you to do is click on that thing, send me the name, who it is, where they work, and then a little short paragraph that says, here's how this person impacted my life. Well, here's why I'm nominating him. And I love these stories because here's my connection. As you know, I was a mayor, and I had a mass shooting in my town, and I learned about the importance of first responders firsthand. They show up. When that shooting happened at the Sikh Temple, Wisconsin, they were there right away before I was there as the mayor, elected representative. And I learned things. I learned that they're not on the regular day, they're not easy jobs. But on those days, in the most difficult, trying, tension-filled moments, it's a tough life. But they always step up. Right. And that's why I honor them.
Well, look, I honor them, too, as well, because I always salute those that are willing to be on those front lines. That's a tough job.
It is a tough job. And, you know, people say, well, they're well compensated. I don't care. They're facing, and my ex-police chief, who's now working in another field, told me this. you're interacting with people on often the worst day of their life or the worst moment of their life. And you have to face that head on. That's what they do. So that's why I just want to tell a story. So I need people to show up and tell me, here's the story. Here's the person. And I every year I make it different. I've had dispatchers who, on their day off, saved a baby's life, was choking. The mother never forgets that. A firefighter, I believe it's from West Dallas, first year, 8 years ago, on vacation, saves 3 young kids from drowning. Almost drowned himself.
Oh, wow. Trying to save the kids.
Trying to save the kids. Kids all survived. He made it. That's the kind of stories we tell, and we've been awarded the WBA Award for Community Service a number of times. But that's not why I do it. I want to tell the stories because that's the power of real work being done in our community every day. That's why I love this story.
I agree. And it's not enough real work going on.
No, you know what. I mean,
that's
you
what
just
I
did
said.
it last weekend.
I just talk about it all the time. You know, when we talk about servicing the community, that's close to my heart.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that we all should be a resource of service in our own special way.
I get the personal satisfaction of meeting these people. I get the satisfaction of telling the story, but I want the audience who gets to hear these things and our 5 honorees that we bring onto the show during Heroes Week later in May, I want them to know what's happening in their community. It's like when you tell your stories, you are on, I hate to use this term because it's overused, front lines, right. What's happening in the community. Whatever the story is. I've listened to your show. You're talking about there was a shooting here. There's somebody got involved.
A rental scam going on.
A rental scam. Yeah, you're doing a lot of work on that.
Right.
And by the way, your show's never been as good as it is right now.
Oh.
Maybe it's your producer.
Oh, Andrew.
Andrew. You think it's Andrew?
That's what's up. Andrew doing that work. He got the graphics up during the break.
Dude, you are doing things, well, I should say Andrew. And you are doing things with digital work that I've never seen. That's why I come on your show.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that because I think that as it's our job to make sure that we put out a broadcast as best possible, the best broadcast as possible.
Let me ask you a question. You did your community cleanup last week, and unfortunately I missed it for the 4th straight year in a row, which I feel bad about. But
I'm trying to go on vacation with you.
I was in Las Vegas with my 90-year-old parents who loved it. Happy birthday to my dad.
Happy birthday.
But I missed your community cleanup last week. Tell me about it. Tell me about that interaction.
But it was amazing because it was right after the tornado warnings.
Yeah, we had some crazy weather
that night, before we had to go do the cleanup, it was a tornado warning. So for those that came out, you know, all those volunteers that came out after the flooding, after being exhausted with three days of tornado warnings, we still got out, and the mayor was on TV talking about the drains need to be cleaned. But this was already on the docket, so we was able to get out, clean some of the trash up off the streets, off the parks, off the drains, you know, and it was an amazing experience because everybody from all walks of life came out, showed up. Pastors, police officers came out, organizations, fraternity came out. It was just so many different people from all over that came out to make our city beautiful. And I like when the people come. I think it was a guy that came from listening to your show, too.
Yeah, because you were on our show a couple times.
Yeah, I think he came in 2 years in a row.
Good.
Yeah.
So I want to congratulate you on another job well done with that thing. But what I need help on is I need people to nominate other individuals that do the best work, frontline work, first responders, police.
What website they go to? How do they sign up?
WTMJ.com. Just click on the Salute to Service banner right on top of the homepage. Right, it's so easy. Or if you have a pen and paper, 855-616-1620. Text the word salute. SALUT. Easy. 855-616-1620.
Well, I got a question for you, Mayor.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Mayor, look, there's a lot of things going on in the city of Milwaukee with the flooding and things like that. Is that a sewage issue? Is that a paper issue, litter, leaves? Is it a combination of both?
It's everything.
Right? You know, how do we resolve that? Because I've never seen Milwaukee flood this much.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of things. Right. You mentioned paper. The drains being clogged is a big problem. I saw that in my community. I had to actually take a broom and push all the leaves off it from last fall. I think you were talking about it with this leaf cleanup thing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If that's not done right, it's a mess all winter. Mm-hmm. But then when you have the spring rains, first of all, it's crazy rains, right? We're talking record rains. So emergencies are emergencies for a reason. They don't happen that often, and you're not often prepared for it. But I would say that contributed to it. The other thing is you can only do so much in a community. Like, where do you go first if there's flooding? It was everywhere.
Right.
It's not like in one spot where you can just respond to that emergency. It was everywhere. What we need in situations like this, and what I learned as a mayor, is calm down. We'll get to you. We'll fix the problem. But man, patience. Don't tell me I'm in a hurry. I got to get somewhere and I can't get there because the road's flooded. Reschedule that appointment. Do something else. Figure it out. Don't make your life more important than the emergency that your community is facing. That's the big thing. That's a mayor's message.
And also, there's a lot of talk about the potholes. Now, I know you were.
I hate potholes.
I know you were the mayor in Oak Creek, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what the infrastructure over there looked like, but
when I was mayor, we had no potholes.
Right. All right. So they have.
I got my fingers crossed.
How much can a mayor, when it comes to the city infrastructure, when it comes to potholes, I mean, can he just say, look, I'm finna get these potholes up off the street and that becomes the major project? Does he have to make it the focus, or how do you get these potholes? Because now it's craters, especially after the wintertime.
There's a couple on Michigan Avenue I avoid now. They're bad. They'll break. I got a Jeep and they'll break my axle.
Oh my goodness.
Look, like everything in government, it's about communication, right? A citizen calls, we got a pothole. You're not going to call a mayor first. You're going to call Department of Works or whatever. Then it has to go up. All right, so what do we do immediately to fix this problem? We identified that there's actually a problem. Let's go out and see the pothole. We fix it right away. This idea that we somehow have to wait to fix a pothole is insane. Fix it.
That's horrible. It's terrible.
Whether it's a temporary patch or a permanent patch, the answer is you've patched it, you've fixed it. So I don't want to hear about this delay problem. Fix the problem, then you don't have to worry about it for a while.
Hey, you need to be the mayor.
Of what?
Of the city of Milwaukee.
I'm the mayor of WTMJ.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
A boss for a day.
Hey, but like I said, we have these conversations, and now that we have flooding on deck, and potholes have became another major talking point on social media. Yeah. Fox 6 News asks, "Where's the biggest pothole in the city?" Like,
where is it?
Which
is it by your house?
It's so many.
Is it by your house?
Wait a minute. I think that if I would have fit in the biggest pothole if I said that this place had the biggest pothole.
That's why I love those stories where the companies come out and they put their logo on the patch. We need more of that. They pay for the fix.
Oh, okay.
Not the city.
Adopt a pothole.
Slap a McDonald's logo on that sucker, and it's fixed in a day.
Here we go.
That's leadership.
Okay.
You know it.
Hey, it is. Hey, I'm just saying.
Look at me pointing at you. You're the host.
They're just trying to figure this out. You know what I mean? Because it's a problem.
Look, everything in life is challenging, but that doesn't mean you back away from the challenge. You face it head on.
When you watch what's going on in the city of Milwaukee, and all of the different things that go on every week, you know what I mean, as a mayor, when you look at it, do you shake your head or do you be like, I would have did this, I would have did that?
More the latter. I would have done it this way. Look, anybody that puts their name out there on a ballot and then runs for office and wins office gets my respect. You may not be a great leader, but you put yourself out there. So I don't want to judge people. I will tell you, I'll recognize great leadership when I see it. So whether it's Milwaukee, whether it's Oak Creek, Franklin, West Dallas, Racine, wherever you're talking about, show me something. Don't talk about it.
Be about that action.
Yeah, action. You nailed it. That's the power word, action.
Hey, look. Hey, salute to you and all of the salute to service ideas that you have. Great stories from the servicemen that work hard every day to try to do their part to make our city better and other cities, So if you got a story, go to WTMJ.com.
Just click on the Salute to Service banner right on top. Thanks to all of our great partners. Waterstone Bank, Mission 94, Botana is a great restaurant.
Okay, that's what's up.
Packing House by the airport, which my parents love. Those are the folks who make it possible as well.
Hey, look, we got 620 WTMJ, Steve Scafidi, the mayor, and Christian Bride, the queen. And their show is point taken from 10 a.m. to noon every day. And y'all got graphics up, too. Y'all running...
Not like yours.
No, y'all
I am jealous.
No, I was jealous of the graphics y'all had.
I'm getting out of here. I'm firing off a memo because I see Andrew every morning, and the dude is doing some killer work. Not to pull the talent away.
Right.
But that tug is there.
Oh, wow.
Take him to the mothership.
Well, you got to have the material, so...
Boss for a day.
Hey, y'all got to give him the material to work with, though. I dumped it on him.
You're a good-looking man. I can only do so much with this.
All right.
That's all I got.
Well, thank you, Scafidi, for coming through. I appreciate you.
I see you.
And I thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
Another function of white supremacy: don't teach black people stuff, because if you give us a little bit of knowledge, we'll invent something totally new. That's why it was illegal to teach slaves to read, because if we could read, then we could write. And if we could write, we could communicate. And if we could communicate, we could plan. And if we could plan, we could strategize. And if we can plan and write and read and communicate and strategize, we could overthrow white supremacy, because they've always known how fragile it is.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Still think you're going to use those old chemicals just sitting around under the sink, in the garage, or down in the basement? We're talking things like old antifreeze, paint thinners, batteries, propane cylinders, and pesticides. So don't let them sit there. Get rid of them right away. To MMSD's Home Hazmat Drop-Off Centers. It's safe, it's easy, and it's open to all Milwaukee County residents. There are 3 locations open year-round. Let's clean up Milwaukee. At Milwaukee College Prep, we don't leave success to chance. We're designed for it. With strong support, high expectations, and a team committed to excellence, our educators turn belief into outcomes every day. If you believe every child deserves an excellent education, join Milwaukee College Prep. Apply today. Visit mkeprep.com/jobs.
Walk in for a suit, walk out with 2. It's buy one, get one half off throughout April at Nick Avani's. Suits, blazers, hats, jeans, and more. Everything you need from a hands-on team that styles you from head to toe. Find a suit, add shoes for half the price. Land a perfect 2-piece set? Now add a vest for 50% less. Prom, weddings, galas, whatever's on your calendar, now's the time to stop in to Nick Avani's. 2nd floor at Mayfair Mall across from AMC. Buy one, get one half off throughout April at Nick Avani's. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details.
This is The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
We out here fighting for the people. What we doing? We out here fighting for the people. What we doing? We out here fighting for the people. Tory Lowe, part 1. We out here fighting for the people. We out here fighting for the people. I can make a sequel. All these murders is getting lethal.
1017 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. I want to head over to Houston, where a police department lieutenant was arrested for soliciting a minor. See, this is why I go after these young runaways, because stuff, it could get crazy out here for these young people, and when they making irrational decisions when they're young. So I try to go as soon as the mother say they don't know where the child is. That's enough for me. I don't need to wait 24 hours for these kids to get out here and get into a situation where, they can be taken and probably in the next city in an hour or two. I'm going to try to figure it out right away and get them back. But this is a crazy situation because this is supposed to be police department lieutenant that's supposed to know better. If you're watching this, we broadcast live. We got video. Let's listen.
Well, we learned 50-year-old Lieutenant Quoc Viet No was arrested Friday by Houston police in the Harris County Precinct 1 Constable's office as he drove to the home of a person he thought was a 15-year-old girl to engage in sexual activity with her. Authorities say he was off duty in an unmarked city vehicle at the time. HPD was notified of an investigation involving one of their employees by Precinct 1's Internet Crimes Against Children unit. Constable Alan Rosen said this case started about a week and a half ago, and they worked in coordination with HPD.
It's just a sad day because this guy was in our profession. And anytime an officer does something wrong, something as serious as this is just bad.
Houston police released a statement saying in part, our department assisted with the investigation and arrest of Lieutenant No. He was arrested for online solicitation of a minor and has been relieved of duty. Police say No was sworn in as an officer in 2003 and was assigned to the Airport Hobby Division. Constable Rosen has this warning for families and a message to predators.
You need to have those conversations with your children about the dangers and perils of being online. You got to make sure that you know who they're talking to, because, I mean, this guy's a 50-year-old male. Predators, our message to you is you could be talking to law enforcement. And so I don't ever want you to feel comfortable. You better not feel comfortable. Our job is to make sure that we work these cases up, and we do exactly what we did this morning, and that is arrest you for doing this kind of activity.
I agree. Like, there's so many fires going on. I'm telling you, my list of things to do on a day-to-day basis is so random. You know, we just had the rental scam on here. And we had that huge story yesterday about the two women with the rental scam. And at the same time, I was trying to look for a missing 13-year-old girl at the same time. And we resolved the missing 13-year-old situation. She's back with her mother. But this rental scam situation, we got part 2 coming tomorrow. We found out who the wife and husband was. So they'll be in the studio tomorrow for part 2 of the rental scam that's going on. They've been going on, what they said that the police told them for 10 years in the city. This is where the buck stopped. We're going to try to get these people off our streets, taking people's money, people that can't even afford to give that kind of money up to be lost in some kind of fraud scheme. So like I said, tomorrow we're going to have part 2. It's going to be a lot going on tomorrow's show, but we're going to give y'all an update. If y'all heard the story from yesterday, we got part 2, and we got pictures, Truth Nation. We got pictures. As a matter of fact, the news stations now, they about to pick the story up. The news station is going to start picking the story up. So it's going to be a lot of this scam, this rental scam idea going to be on the news here in a second. But we the news, too. So, like I said, this is why when we talk about what's going on in the black community, we got to make sure that we have to put our stories front and center and demand change right now. They want your vote. You got to demand change, Truth Nation. If you sitting back and just letting them and waiting for you to get in a situation and thinking you're going to get the benefit, no, just listen to a long list of people on this show where we have to get out here and really do it ourselves. Understand what I'm saying? So it ain't never been a better time to recorrect our attention and the way we deal with our community and the village than right now. But there's a situation where they said that they digging up the yard of a former pastor in the community. They saying that the Milwaukee police is doing a search and dig through the yard and the garage of a home right here in Milwaukee connected to a high-profile murder case that took place a while back. If you're watching this, we broadcast live. We got some video on this. Let's listen.
Milwaukee police calling for heavy equipment to execute a search warrant at a home near 15th and Congress. Officers, along with the Department of Public Works, were seen digging up areas around the garage and across the property, turning over dirt amid their quest for potential evidence. The location could be linked to convicted killer Michael Locke, which may be why police are investigating. Property records show the home is owned by Locke's former wife, and prior court filings tied to his conviction. Prosecutors say Locke once led a criminal enterprise and lived at that residence back in 2007. He is now serving 2 life sentences for homicides. Fox 6 spoke to Locke's former wife, who says she does not live at the property and is unaware of the circumstances surrounding the investigation. Police have not said or confirmed if she is involved. Court records also reveal police searched the home just months ago in January, looking for weapons in a case not linked to Locke. Now with crews back on site Monday and digging deeper, questions are intensifying about what more could be uncovered.
All right, so he's already sentenced. Locke is already sentenced to like 2 life sentences. And he was well liked around here. A lot of people, when you look at the comments, he was well liked around the community. But 2 life sentences. They say his wife lived in this house. Maybe they got a tip. Maybe they got a tip that it was bodies somewhere, in this property. So maybe somebody was like, hey, search over here. We're going to keep everybody updated on what they found in this situation. So once again, 2 life sentences for Locke. I'll say this: when I first came back home from Minnesota, and I came back home, I heard about this story where they said there was bodies buried, in one of his residences. So I guess somebody had to tip him off. We're going to try to see what went on with this situation. But I want to get this story out the way. I want to go over to Atlanta, where an Uber driver played explicit podcast while young girls was in the Uber. I think the girls were about 18 years old, and the Uber driver played explicit content on his radio. And the lawyer says now there's nothing they could do about it because they was 18. Thank God it was a group of girls in this Uber, I think Uber need to really lay down some laws about what people can play while they in the Uber, while you riding in it, especially in this situation. If you're watching this rebroadcast live, we got video on this. Let's listen.
I heard some of the audio and I felt uncomfortable immediately.
An 18-year-old woman says she and her friends became worried when their Uber driver played a graphic, sexually explicit podcast last Monday.
The whole time I was thinking, why would he be listening to this with 3 girls in the car?
The 3 girls are 18 years old. One of them just turned 18 2 weeks ago. They started recording the ride out of concern. We're not playing the audio due to its graphic nature. However, people are heard describing sexual experiences in detail.
There was a woman on the podcast moaning, making noises into the microphone, and the men in the podcast were asking her questions and egging it on.
The young women were in the car less than 15 minutes. They claim the driver loudly played the sex podcast the entire ride. The mother of one of the ladies posted concerns about the incident on social media and filed a report with Atlanta police.
You didn't know how old these girls were, and you assumed that it was okay to allow this to play and giggle and laugh and even make eye contact at times. That creates a sense of insecurity.
Kara Phillips is an attorney that represents victims of violent crimes. She says while the case is disturbing, it's unlikely the driver will face criminal charges.
Without any touching and without anything that meets the statute. Yeah, this driver gets away with doing this every single day as long as Uber gives him the access.
Attorney Phillips says if one of the students was a minor, it'd be a different story.
There would be some criminal statutes that we would be able to look at this falling into under those circumstances.
All right, so there you go. If they was 18, then they can't do nothing about it. So he's out there playing explicit material, vulgar, kind of sound like he had that early Howard Stern on. I don't know if I'm just saying. I mean, he was playing it, and they said he was making comments about it while they was in the car, made him feel uncomfortable and things like that. Uber need to kind of, I think if it's not a law about this, then people need to push who go to Uber and use Uber need to push that there need to be restrictions to the music that people can play while they in the car. Now, I've been in the Uber and I done heard aggressive music all the time, like cussing, the N-word, everything, in the Uber, playing, music up loud and everything. I didn't say nothing because I wasn't going that far. So, but when you got young girls in the car and you playing explicit music like that, Andrew, that's not acceptable.
I always request that they put on 101.7 The Truth.
That's what you do. When you get in the Uber, you request 101.7 The Truth. Okay.
Give them a good tip, and then they play the Tory Lowe Show.
Oh, that's what's up. Well, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, I want to talk about this Milwaukee Public Works, and they talking about these potholes. They saying that the wheels, a lot of people are trying to get these potholes up off the street. Once again, the potholes have become a major conversation right now. We're going to talk about it when we get back. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Versity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here, together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving. You're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/VersityOnKing to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
Join Cousins Club Rewards today. Grab your first sub and your next one could be free. After your first qualifying purchase, you'll earn a free sub and start collecting points for free food, exclusive deals, and even Cousins gear. Sign up today. It's fast and easier than ever on the Cousins Subs app. Earn points online, on the app, or in store. However you enjoy Cousins Subs, your rewards are right at your fingertips. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
If oil gets to $90 a barrel, I'll be able to pay off my house. I think war is awful. It's terrible. It doesn't resolve things. It creates long-lasting hatred and even more conflict that the American people are always going to find themselves involved in.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
But if I don't have a mortgage, you know what I mean? You take the good with the bad. Didn't Donald Trump say he was going to end the wars? You can't have America first if you're involved in all these foreign wars. And there's people that believed him when he said that. He doesn't like wars. He said it many times. Said it on the campaign trail.
Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 101.7 The Truth.
He's bombed just as much in his first year as any warmongering hawk president we've ever seen since World War II.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat.
The number of black summer associates at law firms is shrinking to its lowest levels in more than a decade. That's according to a survey by the National Association of Law Placement. And as part of a larger trend across industries, in reaction to a conservative push to end race and gender-based preferences in hiring and in school admissions. I spoke to Bloomberg Equality reporter Jeff Green, who says this decline could be just the tip of the iceberg.
We haven't even begun to see yet the impact of enrollment based on that affirmative action decision. The NLP folks said that's probably not going to show up till maybe next year's class. So you'll have the other side of that ratio affected. The number of black people who were in law school may also be diminishing.
Conservative legal strategist Edward Blum is a name to watch here. He's led several successful initiatives to curb DEI in places like law firms. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
This True Sports Update is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. The Milwaukee Brewers start a 3-game series on the road tonight against the Detroit Tigers. Even though the crew haven't played a divisional opponent, manager Pat Murphy says others in the NL Central have gotten off to a good start.
But that's what it's all about. In a competitive league, it's high tide lifts all boats. So we'll just keep worrying about ourselves and trying to get healthy and trying to survive this time and hopefully get on a roll ourselves.
Kyle Harrison will get the start tonight for Milwaukee. 5:40 first pitch in Detroit. Coverage begins on our sister station 620 WTMJ at 5 o'clock. And former Brewers slugger Ryan Braun will become the latest inductee in the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame with ties to pro baseball during an induction ceremony in July. Braun will join other notable Brewers, including Hank Aaron, Cecil Cooper, and Prince Fielder. The first round of the NFL Draft is coming up Thursday in Pittsburgh. The Packers currently do not have a first-round pick. This True Sports Update was powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
They getting tired of you, Tory. Every time you look up, they kicking another door. See, I told you the days of being silent are over. This is the time for your cup to run over. If you don't stand for something, you gon' fall for anything. You hear me? Let me tell you something. If you need me, you know how to find me. But keep doing what you doing. I'm proud of you. Yeah, yeah. He who finds himself losing himself for my sake will find it. Yeah. And he who loses his life for my sake will find it. I've been praying for peace. I've been praying for peace. Tired of fighting these beats, but they need me in these streets. Yeah.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. I guess people are complaining about busting them tires up on them potholes. Milwaukee DPW has the most pothole patch requests since 2019. Before we get into the pothole, so I see George on the lines. We got George been waiting. Let's get George on the lines. How you doing, George?
I'm doing good, Tory. What about you?
Blessings, brother George. I'm fine. We all right.
Tory, I was in an Uber about a month ago because they gave me a ride home from the dealership because I guess they stopped doing, where the guys, the courtesy vans and stuff. And the person was playing all kind of, I don't mind rap music, but, it was cussing and all kind of stuff like that. So let me ask you, are they independent contractors so they can do what they want to do? Because this is a business,
right?
And so you should be a little bit courteous to who you're driving. Now I don't know what some people may, because some people may not like Boys II Men if you're playing it. Some people may not like Elvis if you're playing it. But for that driver to be playing that type of podcast, and he knows he's got young ladies in there.
Right.
Either something's wrong with him, not being conscious of what he's doing, or he was doing that on purpose. And that should be addressed to their company, and they should address it. I'm not saying they fire him right off the bat, but they should sit down and talk to him. Hey, this is kind of inappropriate. We appreciate if you didn't play that type of stuff when you have people in the car, period. If you're driving by yourself, find something that's more appropriate, for their drivers, and they should make that something across, because if I'm not mistaken, you have to give those people stars or something, correct?
Right. And they should get the lowest stars possible. But the thing is, Uber should address this issue. They should address it like, because on the radio, it's certain things we can't do. It's rules and guidelines to how far, or the conversation is FCC. This is across the board. This is what your conduct has to be in a public space. Now, if you got Uber and you in the public, you dealing with the public space, why wouldn't they have rules up and guidelines up on how you conduct yourself in that space?
Exactly. I was in that McDonald's off of, is that Good Hope? Good Hope in 76th Street over there by Popeyes. And I think Cousins is over there. I can't remember if that's Brown. That's Good Hope. And I went in there, Tory, and the manager and them, and his kids in there because it's after school, right? Because I brought my grandkids in there, right? And the cousin music they was playing over there, I called corporate. When I went back a week later, I bet you they weren't playing that music. So, they should have been aware of that. So they know, we know. We probably just want to see what we can get away with. All right, Tory, thanks for
thank you. Hey, look, that's why I say, we got to, these companies got to be held a little bit more responsible, because I think that, they call them the gray areas. That's why the lawyer said that it's nothing they could do to this Uber driver because the girls were over 18 or they were 18. And, if they were below 18, there would be some criminal ideas that they can do. But, 18 is considered being an adult. So at this point, we got to say, okay, when you're dealing with the public, you can't have profanity, explicit language. We got to start doing that. We got to send that in so they can make that policy change. Well, I want to get to this story that they're saying that the people are busting up the tires on the potholes. Milwaukee DPW has the most pothole patch requests since 2019. People are requesting that they get these potholes up off the streets right here in the city of Milwaukee. I'm looking in to talk to Tex. And somebody's 7285 sent me a picture of their old rims, saying that this picture is a picture of my old tires. I was forced to buy 4 brand new ones at a total cost of $1,648 after hitting a pothole. Mark the Barber in the chat, Mark Reed says, I just busted 2 of my tires yesterday. I had to replace 2 tires after hitting a pothole. We got the story. If you're watching this, we broadcast live. We got video. Let's listen.
Living here for 32 years, the traffic, you get used to the noise.
To the Southsiders living near 35th and Lincoln, the potholes seem especially bad this year.
This is the worst I've ever seen it, with just one big pothole.
That's partially thanks to this foot-deep gash in 35th Street.
When I listen, car is coming in. Wait.
One of the neighbors put up a sign trying to warn drivers. But if you ask James Van Acker,
see, there's another one.
It doesn't always work. He says he's seen 2 tows already, and he started counting the hubcaps on his front lawn.
This morning, if you count them, there's 7 or 8. So cars are hitting the potholes so hard that they're busting their wheels.
Neighbors reported it to the city. Monday, the Department of Public Works says they haven't seen this many pothole patch requests since 2019. The first 3 months of 2026 saw more than 5,000 pothole reports. That's 65% higher than the city's average for this time of year, of just over 3,000.
We're seeing the long-term impacts of underfunding and not being able to keep up with infrastructure.
Alderman Peter Burgelis says the city gets grants to help repave main thoroughfares, but
most roads in Milwaukee are your local neighborhood roads, and those don't qualify for state support or federal dollars. That burden stays with taxpayers.
Wow. They saying that now they trying to say the cost is on the taxpayers to get these potholes off the street. Hey, see how they snuck that in there, Andrew? Hey, look, these potholes is they've been out of control. Since the show started, since my show started, people have been talking about how bad the potholes are. Now it's out there in the South Side. Now this is one of the first times I've seen a white alderman on the news. You know it's bad when they start screaming out from the South Side. Hey, I wonder if these potholes gonna get fixed. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you, always make a note when you hit a pothole and it causes damage. You got to make a note and send it in to the city. Keep it on record. Keep it on record because they may file a class action lawsuit about the damage, the car damage that's going on with these potholes. You may have to, we may have to come together for a class action lawsuit against the city because the repairs and the damage is now, it's probably so high. If we all added up the cost it took to fix our cars from these potholes, hey, what would that price look like? Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. We got some callers on the line. We're going to try to get to the callers. We got some chat. We got some talk to text. We're going to try to get to it all when we get back, Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The revolution starts in our mind, right? You know when Gil Scott-Heron said the revolution won't be televised? Like he didn't mean that you won't be able to watch it on TV. He means the revolution starts in your mind. You nincompoop. Y'all been running around saying that for 60 years. The revolution won't be televised and didn't even know what the hell it meant. It starts with us.
Let him cook. Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family and help out in your community. You've been there for so many others. But when life challenges you, when rising costs, unexpected repairs, medical bills, or simply a rough stretch make it hard to keep up on a limited or low income, you're not alone. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are here for you, working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. If you're struggling with high utility bills, facing a disconnect notice, or dealing with a furnace emergency and your limited or low income isn't enough, support is available. Visit www.heat.help or call 1-800-506-5596 to apply for a hand up.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flySSHF.org and ask for an application.
Walk in for a suit, walk out with two. It's buy one, get one half off throughout April at Nick Avani's. Suits, blazers, hats, jeans, and more. Everything you need from a hands-on team that styles you from head to toe. Find a suit, add shoes for half the price. Land the perfect two-piece set, now add a vest for 50% less. Prom, weddings, galas, whatever's on your calendar, now's the time to stop in to Nick Avani's. Second floor at Mayfair Mall across from AMC. Buy one, get one half off throughout April at Nick Avani's. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details.
This April, it's Financial Literacy Month on 1017 The Truth, powered by UW Credit Union. Financial literacy isn't just about money. It's about confidence and making smart decisions for your future. UW Credit Union is here to help with free tools, expert guidance, and resources. From budgeting tips to one-on-one financial coaching and self-guided lessons you can access anytime. Because they're not a bank, they're a partner in your financial journey. Learn more at uwcu.org. This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
pesos. Got a lot of brothers, some of them play bros. They don't wanna say it, but they hate Lowe. They all mad 'cause I got the Tory Lowe.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. We got some people chiming in on these potholes. They saying that they got more complaints about these potholes than they done had since 2019. I see the people chiming in. We got Sandra on the lines. How you doing, Sandra? What's going on with these potholes?
They're not sufficiently fixed, and from what I understand, someone told me that a lot of the people that's working on our streets don't even live here. They outsource, and they probably pay them a little bit of something. And who's to say what they're using? The products may be generic that they're using, but I'm right here in the city, and I mean, I'm going through a bunch of potholes. In fact, I broke a axle going on a pothole,
Oh, wow.
and the city won't pay for it. City will not pay for it. And so that's how they get away with murder. You know, they just deplete this city, talk about this city. I think we got too much potential that they don't want us to have. So they got to do everything to deplete it, to get people saying, oh, Milwaukee is critical, Milwaukee is criminal, Milwaukee. They have nothing good to say about this city. And I was raised in this city from elementary up. And I know this city used to be really good. So to me, you go back to systemic racism. Start pulling up all the information you can get off of that. Every central city in the United States is the same way done. Detroit, they try to do Chicago, Cincinnati. So it's all systemically done, and we just weren't woke. That's all I could say. We used to go back into churches and figure out stuff. And so I guess we weren't woke. And I didn't know. My mother never talked about racism, so I really didn't know. But I have to go back, I have to read it all. But somebody told me it's private people doing it. And a lot of this stuff that certain people own, like the tollways. They say this stuff is rented out to foreign countries.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's a lot of stuff going on that we don't even know. Okay, that's what I had to say.
All right, Sandra.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hey, look, like I said, we might, I'm going to try to check in and see can there be some kind of class action lawsuit. Y'all just say, if y'all hit a pothole, say the receipt, say the damage, take pictures, document. They already got more requests to remove these potholes than ever. And a lot of people are writing into the city because these are the people you're supposed to write into to get this resolved. And it's costing money. It's costing people who don't really have that extra to pay money. Cassandra, how you doing, Cassandra?
I'm doing okay. I just wanted to I'm not sure if people know that we are being charged a city wheel tax for $30. We are also being charged a $30 county wheel tax. And I called the alderman, Khalif Rainey, and asked him why did they assess those fees. When we renew our license plates, they assessed us a $30 city wheel tax and a $30 county wheel tax. And when I talked to Alderman Khalif Rainey, he said that the money was supposed to be used to repair the streets in the city of Milwaukee, and it is not happening.
Most definitely not happening. With that, yes. With all the complaints coming in, it's a real problem.
Yes. It is.
Okay, so what are they using the wheel tax money for and all this extra stuff going on with the extra taxes that we got that you don't find out until you get ready to register a vehicle?
Exactly. I'm not sure where it's going, but I just want people to know that we are being charged the extra $60 every time you renew your license plate, and the money is supposed to be used to repair the streets of Milwaukee, and it's not happening.
Well, thank you for tapping in, Cassandra, for that, telling us that, because sometimes we wondering where our money going. I don't even know. Like sometimes you just shake your head at how they managing the money with the misuse of funds that's going on right now. Hey, I could just only shake my head because y'all think it's cool to be around these people and they not doing nothing for you, you know. Then I get the burden of trying to resolve a lot of. I don't even get paid to help the community. I never got paid to help the community, so I don't mind it because that's my passion. But at the same time, a lot of this, these people, I don't believe what they had to do to really make the changes ain't nothing. All they got to do is just say, okay, let's put something together and try to get these potholes up off the street. All you got to is, they got the resources to try to do it. And I was saying, send me your biggest pothole, and then somebody called in and said, if you call in the pothole, that they was gonna fix it. Well, why are we still having all these problems then? If more people than called in or wrote in to get these potholes off the street, and it's still happening, what is that? Somebody let me know. And people are getting tired. These are extra expenses on the community that we don't even need to be handling or dealing with. You going out here, you got to probably go somewhere, go to work, go out and do something, and you hit a pothole. That's an extra expense. Produced by the city on the city road. And you're supposed to eat that. You got to keep your head on a swivel while driving down the street. Sometimes it ain't reckless driving. You just trying to swerve around the pothole. Here we go. Here we go. I don't know. Hey, y'all need to write y'all alderman. Y'all need to write the mayor. It seems like people are already doing that. That's why the news article say this is the most that ever people talking about we need to get these potholes up off the streets. But are they answering the people? Hey, y'all like these people. Y'all got the pictures. Y'all like taking pictures with people that you can't say, I don't know. I don't know about it. What else we got to get to? It was a fraud scheme. It was another fraud scheme that I wanted to get to before we got out of here. We got time or it's too late? Well, we got 60 seconds. Okay, Andrew said we ain't got no time to get to the story about this husband and wife accused of stealing $400K from the Masonic Lodge.
I'll tell you, I want to be a fly on the wall when you call about the Marina.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna call them and try to see what's going on. I want an appointment. I want to make an appointment with the folks down there to see what's happening there. Salute. Somebody in the chat says they worried about what happened with Kyle. Lady B in the chat says, Tory, I'm still thinking about the incident with Kyle. It just really don't see it right with me that David didn't handle it, and I really hope that you can do something about it, Tory. Like I said, this is what I do. Hey, I'm just gonna come in there and try to figure out why it's discrimination with somebody just trying to get some gas. How do you get kicked out because he didn't get the service that he was already paying for? Hey, we gonna get to the bottom of it, Truth Nation. Hey, look. Well, thank everybody for tuning in today. Salute to everybody in the chat. Another powerful chat today. Salute to everybody out there in Radio Land. Salute to everybody that called in and added to the topics today. I appreciate that. Look, you can't keep ushering in or voting in things that don't work and then complain that it didn't work. It wasn't even working in the first place. At some point, we got to regroup, rethink, and reshape and move forward with results. Hey, look, keep your head on the swivel. Green don't always mean go. And look both ways before you cross the streets. I love you. Dr. Ken Harris up next.